Welcome everyone to TNA Lockdown 2009 in Philadelphia. You see earlier today, AJ Styles and Daniels representing Team Jarrett arrived at the arena without their partners, Samoa Joe, the Nation of Violence, and team captain Jeff Jarrett. Is this a team divided? And then, by comparison, look at the unity exhibited by Team Angle and the Main Event Mafia. Captain Kurt Angle, joined by Booker T, Kevin Nash, Big Papa Pop Scott Steiner, all arriving at the same time. And you can judge by this video the Main Event Mafia on the same page for Lethal Lockdown.
Years. 13 long, hard years of kicking ass, and sometimes getting our ass kicked. But it's all been worth it for world titles like this. This is the city we got our start in. This is the city where Team 3D was born. This is the most hardcore, violent city in the world. This is Philadelphia. Beer Money, I would not want to be in your shoes tonight. At Lockdown, Philadelphia street fight. That means we're gonna open the cage door and fight all over the arena, maybe even to the streets of Philly. These people are gonna be chanting for your blood. Philly fans are bloodthirsty, they're crazy, they're insane. I hope every single one of them takes a shot at you tonight. Tonight we walk in the IWGP champions, but we walk out the TNA World Tag Team champions also, and prove to the world that World Tag Team domination belongs to Team 3D. The march starts from these steps, straight to the arena.
Gentlemen, I hope you're ready. I hope you've done all the training, drank all your beer, spent all your money to get in shape for Team 3D tonight. Because you see, when the dust clears and everything is said and done, there will be no more arguments. There'll be nothing left to say. The only thing that will be said is that Team 3D is the greatest tag team in the history of this business. And tonight, we will walk out victorious. Oh, my brother, testify.
TNA Wrestling. Cross the line.
The world is a vampire, set to drain. Secret destroyers hold you up to the flame. What do you get for your pain? Betrayed desires and a piece of the game. Despite all your rage, you're still just a rat in the 6 sides of steel cage.
I don't ever recall saying that I'd had my last match here in TNA. Deep down in here, I am a wrestler.
I stayed away from the ring for a long time, and it wasn't that hard because I wasn't so close to it.
When I see matches day in and day out, it reminds me of the man that I used to be.
Mick, if you wanted back in the game, all you had to do was ask.
Who the hell are you to tell me when I've had enough? You making all the decisions now? You the decider?
Mick, your body is ravaged.
I'll tell you when I've had enough, and it's not yet.
I'm gonna be responsible for ending your career, Mick.
What you call hell, I call home. I was looking for happiness, and by God, I found it.
The Main Event Mafia has been dominating since October.
Samoa Joe, the Main Event Mafia made a mistake last time.
I hope to God that you bring Jeff Jarrett.
You want me? You got me.
We're gonna end both of your careers.
My only purpose for being here is to torture.
And I guarantee you, we will not let you down, not this time.
Main Event Mafia will never die!
Have you lost your mind, Mick?
I didn't care about human life.
Have you lost your mind, Mick?
Shut your mouth! Shut it! Shut your mouth! Shut it! Shut it! We're not going to be reliving history. We will be making history.
Lost your mind, Mick.
It's showtime, Mick. Icon versus legend. I am the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
You and I in lockdown, and I will tear you apart.
Have you lost your mind, Mick?
This Jack. It's showtime, Mick.
And now, TNA Wrestling presents the most dangerous pay-per-view of the year, Lockdown.
Tonight, it's the only event in wrestling where every match is contested in the 6 sides of steel. Tonight, we present 5 championship bouts, including Sting versus Mick Foley for the TNA title. And tonight, we answer the questions about Jeff Jarrett's loyalty and his integrity.
With Team Jarrett in disarray and the main event Mafia as cohesive as ever, Team Angle should have the advantage. Plus Sting versus Foley. Who will survive? Welcome to Philadelphia. Welcome to Lockdown.
And we open the most brutal and most dangerous pay-per-view of the year, Lockdown, with the first of those 5 championship matches for the X Division title. Let's break it down. Let's take a look at the X Factors for our opening match for the title. It was last month at Destination X, ladies and gentlemen, when a masked man of mystery used the suicide-like leap to win the title in the Ultimate X match. The numbers game certainly favors the challengers tonight. Lethal and Creed are united. Kiyoshi a soldier in the Sheik's army. Tonight it's pin or submission until we get down to the final 2 competitors. Then the object, it's to escape the cage. At that point, when you do so, you either capture or you retain the X Division Championship belt.
Ooh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your TNA Lockdown opening contest, a TNA X Division Championship escape match. Eliminations are by pinfall or submission until the final 2 participants, where you must escape the cage to win the match. Introducing first, from Elizabeth, New Jersey, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal has been there before. 3 times he's held the X Division Championship, but he hasn't held that title in over a year.
Challenger number 2 is from Osaka, Japan, Kiyoshi.
Tell you what, Kiyoshi, Mike, today is going to have a good advantage, as will Jay Lethal, as Kiyoshi will have Bashir in there to work with. Very important to find your partner, have your partner, and if you can work it out, have it come down to you and your partner. Jay Lethal will be trying to do the same thing. The only man that's going to be on the island tonight is going to be, of course, the X Division champion, and that's Suicide.
The next participant from Atlanta, Georgia, Consequences Creed.
We spelled it out for you in the X Factor. Don just mentioned it as Kiyoshi made his way into the cage. This really is going to solidify and drive home the point. The tag team of Lethal Consequences, Consequences Creed, Jay Lethal, 2 of the challengers for Suicide's X Division belt.
Challenger number 4 is from Tehran, Iran. He is the Middle Eastern Nightmare, Sheikh Abdul Bashir.
The Sheikh will deny that he put together this army. He will tell you that No Limit, that Kiyoshi, that they all joined him as part of the anti-US stance. I don't buy into that in the least. To me, this is the Sheikh putting together that group. to gain strength in numbers.
Well, I'll tell you what, the bottom line is you've got to fear Bashir in that ring. I think it was a brilliant move. Whether they came to him or whether he created them, it doesn't matter. They have a common bond. They all feel they've been disrespected here in the United States. And the bottom line is, Bashir now can look to somebody in that ring for help. He can look for somebody to have him back.
And finally, the TNA X Division Champion, Suicide!
And just like that, the X Division title holder appears dead center in the middle of the cage. It was back in Destination X. Suicide became X Division champion with that spectacular leap from the top of the cables.
I'll tell you what, that was a fantastic move, and it's something that you'll never forget. You had to see it to believe it, but I'll tell you what, I'll be impressed if Suicide can get out of this mess. I still don't know how he does that in and out entrance there, and you don't see where he comes from, but the thing about it is he's going to have to figure out a way to outlast everybody and get to the final two. Then he's on an even playing field. Until then, he won't be, and you can see right now Kiyoshi going right after him. Everybody is going to be taking their shots at Suicide if they do this the right way.
Going to do our best to try and follow the action here. Focused right now on Kiyoshi unleashing the chop, the shot to Black Machismo, but then Lethal answers with the high toss takeover and the in-tight drop kick right into the face. We've gone over it a couple of times. I want to remind you, pinfall or submission till we get to the final two, and at that point, you win the match. You win or you keep the X Division title by escaping the 6 sides of steel. Suicide airborne, drops the leg right across the chest of Lethal, but we see the teamwork immediately coming into play as Creed in to make the save.
Well, absolutely. Every time Creed gets in trouble, Jay Lethal's got to have his back. Every time Kiyoshi gets in trouble, Bashir has to have his back, and vice versa with the other partners. Like we mentioned, Suicide won't have that option. But one thing about this match, and I love how you start the show with this, these are the best athletes in the world. And I mean, to put all these guys inside the cage, make it worth something like the X Division title, what a way to start, Mike.
Inverted atomic drop, Suicide on Kiyoshi, the competitor, who really, in the image of the Great Muta, says that he's taking the best of the Great Muta, doesn't want to be a copy of Muta by any means, but boy, Don, the things that we have seen from Kiyoshi here in TNA over the course of the past couple of months, quite impressive to say the least. Boot up into the face of the Sheik. Bashir taken off guard by Suicide, who takes Kiyoshi down, and now the champ exchanges with the Sheik.
Well, I'll tell you what, you throw in the team of No Limit in there with Kiyoshi and Bashir, it just gives all those guys confidence. They know that they've got somebody behind them and looking out for them, and it really does make a difference.
Really a force to be reckoned with. The Sheik's army as Bashir shot off into the corner. Teamwork here from Lethal Consequences leads first to the corner dropkick and then the corner clothesline. First the dropkick by Lethal, the clothesline by Creed. From the top of his shoulders, the big press slam and held down face first. Face plant by Creed as he came off the ropes.
Well, that's good teamwork there by Lethal Consequences. They know Bashir's probably the favorite in this match. They know Bashir's held that belt before and is really planning to get that back again. That's why they tried to work together to take him out. They just couldn't do it.
Suicide held by Lethal. Hesitation dropkick into the face, into the mask by Consequences Creed. Wouldn't it be interesting if it comes down to a situation where the final two competitors might be the partners, the Sheik or Kiyoshi, or possibly the Lethal Consequences tag team? Then we'll find out how tight they really are.
Well, that's one of those that they've already worked this out beforehand. They've agreed if it comes down to that, it just becomes a competition. I mean, that's the way it is. Looks like Kiyoshi could be gone.
Kiyoshi has
took them both.
Eliminated.
Top rope elbow drop by Lethal. Little assist from Consequences Creed leads to the first elimination. First of 3 will eliminate 3 competitors, 2 more till we get to the escape part of the match.
Well, now you'll see that Bashir's in the same situation that Suicide is. Bashir's going to have to forget about having any kind of backup, and he's going to have to go out there and figure out a way to do it himself. And right now you can see he's lost a little of that confidence knowing Kiyoshi's out, but all you got to do is just kind of survive. Let other people get pinned, survive, get to the final 2, and you can go on, but Lethal Consequences has a distinct advantage at this point, Mike.
No question, especially as you mentioned, with the elimination of Kiyoshi, all of a sudden Lethal Consequences, to me, they become the favorites in this match. just on that pure numbers situation alone. Double team, Bashir sent for the ride, shot off into the ropes, elevated up, and the Sheik goes down face and stomach first to the canvas. Follow cover, Lethal goes for the pin. Creed was there to block or stop, but I don't think Suicide would have any idea about trying to break up a pin on anybody else.
Yeah, great point. I mean, that's just the youth there. That's a situation where Creed should have done the same thing they did to Kiyoshi. Should have jumped on top and gone for the pin and eliminated. That may come back to haunt him right there. That's just one of those mistakes that you make, just due to lack of experience. They're getting that experience now, but I'll tell you what, that can be costly tonight, and Bashir, trust me, Bashir's the kind of guy that can take advantage of that. They should have put Bashir away when they had the chance, Mike. Trust me on that, they didn't.
Lethal Consequences working together, but Suicide puts on the brakes and takes Lethal up to his shoulders, and then the Sheik tosses his own partner right into Creed. Oh, and then Bashir with the running clothesline takes down Suicide.
It's just been one after another. I mean, that's the kind of thing when you're stuck inside the six-sided steel, there's nowhere for you to go. So, I mean, every time you turn around, there's somebody in the vicinity, and wow, nice DDT. 1, 2, does he have it? Yes.
That's the WMDDT, the Weapons of Mass Destruction DDT.
Well,
and Creed is out, and all of a sudden, the tag situation, the teamwork that we talked about, Don, that's gone.
Well, now everybody's on their own. That's what I told you that. I told you just a few minutes ago. They should have put Bashir away when they could have double teamed him. They didn't do it. Costly mistake, and now Jay Lethal's paying for it, and Bashir will take advantage of that.
Exchange, Bashir gets the better of it. Gonna try and shoot Lethal off. Machismo reverses, catches the Sheik. Lethal combination, backbreaker into the face plant. Now it's up to Suicide, however. This is good strategy to stop that offensive onslaught from Lethal and stop any kind of a pin here.
Well, I'll tell you something. Suicide really dodged a bullet as he's been able to stick around and hang in there. The guy's a magician of some sorts in that way, because of those two teams should have really concentrated, I think, on taking the champion out first. Now he's on the same playing field that everybody else is.
One more pin or submission till we get down to the final two. Suicide with the offensive shots in the corner on Black Machismo. Gonna take Lethal up to his shoulders here. Gonna try and put him away. Drop down instead. Pin attempt. Lethal gets 2.
Not enough, but I mean, it was almost down to Lethal Bashir, and we've seen that before. Here we go, another situation, and look out at this. Oh, man. Oh!
Devastating clothesline.
Baby.
Lethal turned completely inside out of that shot from Suicide, the reigning champion.
I don't care who you are, you got to respect that, buddy. He just, look at this. Look at that replay. Talk about turning him inside out, upside down.
2 count only, and possibly the hesitation on the part of Suicide in making the cover on that time cost him.
Well, I guarantee you Bashir wouldn't have hesitated on something like that. Now, again, you got to have that killer instinct. You want to come out of a match like this inside the steel cage with the X Division title. You got to put him away. You can't hesitate. When you got somebody down and out, like Suicide and Lethal right there, he should have pounced on that.
Lethal shot off into the ropes quickly and very agile, like going from the middle rope up to the top. Springs back, catches nothing but canvas on the way down. Could be Suicide solution time here. Elevated over and down with the Suicide solution, but then the Sheik might have been playing a little possum there.
Oh, absolutely.
Sheik's going to go and try and pick the bones.
That's what you do.
Black Machismo, Jay Lethal has been eliminated.
You stay out there, you act like you're down and out, let them battle it out, wear each other out, and then when the timing was right, Bashir just took advantage of the situation, and now he's got to put away Suicide while he's got the advantage. Now it's a matter of getting out of that cage, getting through that door.
That's the key. Escape the cage. You either go through the door or over the top of the cage to win this match and the X Division title, the opener tonight here at Lockdown in Philadelphia.
Be the first one to get your feet on the floor. That's the goal here in this matchup as it's all about. Oh, whoa. Almost had it. Look at that. Bashir. Great move on his part, kicking the cage, and if it hadn't hit the cameraman and swung back, I think Bashir would have got out of there.
He almost drop-kicked the cage and went flying directly straight through all the way to the floor, all in one movement, all in one motion.
Great game plan by Bashir.
Quickly, Suicide making his way up the side of the cage to escape, and Bashir cuts him off, stops him, shot from behind, doing everything within his power to try and pull him back inside.
Well, look how quick he got up there, and we know how fast and how slick Suicide is. Bashir just waited, let him get up there in that danger land, and that takes an art, because you're risking yourself, risking losing, and he's caught him up there and just kept it. Now there's nowhere for him to go, and look at that, he brings him back in.
Top rope backdrop suplex all the way from the top rope down to the mat. You saw also while Bashir was up there at the top of the cage, he was using the 6 sides of steel as a weapon. That's also a smart game plan.
You know, and I'm going to say it this time tonight because I've said it so many times in the past, but because of the 6 sides, the way it's built, there's no give in that cage. Ask anyone who's ever been in it. I mean anyone. From AJ Styles to Brother Ray, they'll tell you it's the most dangerous cage they've ever been in.
Steel cage, unlike any other in professional wrestling. That's a point, Don, that we're going to have to hit a couple of times tonight just because of that lack of give in the 6 sides of steel. Bashir waits. The second that Suicide gets to his feet, Bashir goes for that WMDDT one more time. Oh my, set off directly face first into the corner turnbuckle.
Costly mistake there for Bashir. He's going to have to get up. He's going to have to get up because Suicide has the opportunity, and now he's going for it. Hesitated for just a minute, and Suicide's close. Bashir, though, we saw what he's done before. Look at this.
Bashir going to try and stop him and cut him off, but Suicide is well up to the top of the cage, and you can see hanging on one side of the cage, and the Sheik's going to do his best to try and match him. And they're both up at the top exchanging punches. Look out below.
Holy cow, they're up there, man. I mean, this is dangerous. And you can see Bashir. I don't believe Bashir was able to stop Suicide at this point. Oh, Bashir fell. Look at though he holds on. Unbelievable to have the conscious of mind to grab that cage and hold on.
Oh, what a nice recovery by Bashir to get back up to the top, but then Suicide catches him with a shot. The block and then the headbutt by Suicide takes the Sheik from the top of the cage all the way down. Now, if he can just climb down the side of the cage. Whoa. Keep your eyes on Kiyoshi, who's come back down. Security trying to keep Kiyoshi from scaling the side of the cage to assist his partner, Bashir.
Now, Bashir, if he can get through the cage door, if Bashir can get through the cage door, he can win this match.
Bashir's close. Bashir's going through the cage. Wait a minute. Suicide from the top of the cage.
Oh my God.
Here is your winner and still TNA X Division Champion, Suicide.
Even I want to see that replay. Yeah, I wanted Bashir. I thought he had it.
Look at this.
Look at that.
I called it at Destination X, a Suicide-like leap. Look at this. And in the process,
he's got a flair for the dramatic.
He remains X Division champion. Couldn't put it any better. A flair for the dramatic.
I'll tell you what, give Bashir all the credit in the world. That guy gave everything. He showed guts. He showed determination. He almost stopped Suicide. Unbelievable.
We open Lockdown with Suicide retaining the X Division title. Now let's go to Lauren with Daniels and AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, Daniels. Earlier tonight, we saw the main event Mafia show up in full force. Game faces on and ready to do battle. But at the same time, you guys are missing half of your team. Absent Samoa Joe and TNA founder Jeff Jarrett. I gotta ask, going into Lockdown tonight, is Team Jarrett on the same page?
Hold on. Let me just say this. Daniels and I are definitely on the same page. I mean, we've been in tag team matches like this before. We've been on pay-per-views before, but nothing like this. See, this isn't about money. It isn't about prestige. It's about showing that we belong.
Well, Chris Daniels, first of all, welcome back to TNA. Can you fill us in on what went on behind the scenes when Jeff Jarrett decided to bring you back for most likely the most important match of your career?
Well, Lauren, first of all, let me say that it's good to be home. And as far as what went on between Jeff and me, well, that's between Jeff and me. But I will say this. I stand before AJ, before TNA, and before the world as a man reborn.
Wait, but guys, what about Jeff and Joe? What do you...
Ladies and gentlemen, TNA's Lethal Lockdown continues with the Queen of the Cage match, scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, representing the beautiful people from Seattle, Washington, Madison Rayne.
Well, some interesting comments from Daniels and AJ Styles, but we still don't have an answer to the situation where it concerns their tag team partners, the Nation of Violence, Samoa Joe, and of course, team captain Jeff Jarrett.
Well, I mean, you and I both know it. We saw it. That you do not want to come into a match of the prestige of Lethal Lockdown and not be on the same page. And I don't know who you are. You can say what you want. You can fluff it up any way you want. But AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels are nervous about Jeff Jarrett not being with them tonight.
From Memphis, Tennessee, Sojourner Bolt.
First of two matches in the 6 sides of steel tonight, featuring the TNA Knockouts. This is the Queen of the Cage, the 4-way matchup. Introductions already for Madison Rayne, who's been so prominent in the initiation rites, the beautiful people, and all the hair cutting. We'll touch on that. Sojourner Bolt, the second competitor.
From Civil, Texas, the Thief.
I guess now would be as good a time as any to talk about the haircuts of the beautiful people, because once they took the shears, once they took the scissors to the governor, we've seen an amazing transformation.
Oh man, they did this girl a favor. I mean, she's more interesting now than she ever was. You ought to get in that ring and thank Madison Rayne for being a part of that transformation. You know what I'm saying?
Known for the trademark scream, Daphne, competitor number 3. Here's the 4th.
And the final participant accompanied to the ring by Cody Deaner from Minneapolis, Minnesota, ODB!
Well, ODB is one of those competitors that when you think about Philadelphia, you say this may be a match, and judging by the reaction here in Philly, I think that's right on the money.
I'll tell you what, they ought to have a statue of ODB downtown here right next to Ben Franklin. I mean, that's Philly kind of people. You and I have been driving through this city. Tell you what, she fits right in. No matter what part of town, ODB be welcome.
Little shot of the liquid courage, blast handed off to her date, if you will, Cody Deaner. Boy, all of a sudden, he just stuck around. He's been here weeks now. He gets one night with ODB.
I tell you what, buddy, she must have put it on him because he won't leave. He's not going anywhere. I guess when ODB tells you to stay, you stay.
Queen of the Cage to go to the victor. Pin or submission to decide it. And to me, when you talk about TNA management, you look at these 4 girls competing in the 6 sides of steel, these 4 TNA knockouts, you have to admit that the winner would take an awfully big step towards a potential shot at the TNA Knockout Champion, the title belt currently held by Awesome Kong, although she will be defending later tonight here at Lockdown.
Well, absolutely, Mike, and that's a great point because right now, you know, all the talk about the Knockout title's been about, of course, Awesome Kong and Angelina Love and Taylor Wilde, 2 of those which have held that title. This is a situation for all these gals to get right back in that title hunt. Be impressive here tonight. Become the Queen of the Cage. It's something you can be proud of. It's something you can take with you, and you build on it, and you work your way to get a title shot. And this is a great opportunity, and TNA's smart to give these gals a chance to shine so we can see what they're all about.
Again, we'll do our best to try and follow up the action. The double team from Madison Rayne and Sojourner Bolt. The highlight at this point is ODB is sent off into the ropes, able to avoid the contact of that double clothesline, and comes right back and takes down both of them with one move. But as she celebrates, it's Daphne from behind who hops right on her back.
Well, this is one of those matches where because it's the first pin of submission, you know, you might work with somebody for a second, but you can't trust them. I don't care who it is. You got to just take your shot, take your opportunity when you can. If somebody sets somebody up for you, then that's all the better.
Sojourner and ODB squaring off, and while Sojourner Bolt holds ODB, Madison Rayne winds up with the shot to the midsection. Have you received the paperwork as to Madison Rayne and whether she's officially been accepted into the beautiful people yet?
Well, from what I understand, Angelina and I last night were talking long into the night about this situation, and we both feel, and of course Velvet was piping in when she had a chance.
Doing what?
We both feel that if Madison Rayne can get this victory here tonight and be dubbed Queen of the Cage, it sure will go a long way to making her an official part of the beautiful people.
Well, all of a sudden you see that ODB is the target of all three. Daphne, Sojo, and Madison Rayne with the 3-on-1 that all of a sudden turns into Daphne being attacked by Sojourner Bolt and Madison Rayne, and now shot off into the ropes.
Well, like I said, it's one of those where, you don't really have any friends in that cage. And Daphne, though, comes off those ropes and takes two of them out at one time. And you got to give her credit for that. She used her body in the right way.
You have to wonder about what's going through the mind of AJ Styles and Daniels. The clock counts down to our lethal lockdown match later tonight, and the fact that Jeff Jarrett has not yet arrived, the team captain, the founder of TNA, Samoa Joe and the Nation of Violence. You have to question whether everybody's on the same page in Team Jarrett or not.
I think there's a big question out there, too, and that's Kevin Nash. I mean, let's be honest. Kevin Nash has not been in that ring for a long, long time. And number one, what kind of condition he's been in. And, we didn't even notice, but like when they all came in, we know Nash is here, but we didn't see him. And you got to wonder if he's going to be ready. I think he will be. Dropping
down directly with the elbow shot. Daphne not able to connect as Madison Rayne moves out of the way. You see that Cody Deaner's using that camera shot, that camera hole in the side of the cage to pour the contents of the flask into the mouth of ODB, who's firing up. And if you're Madison Rayne, Sojourner Bolt, or Daphne, look out, because ODB is on the loose.
I'll tell you what, she's just tearing into him right now. I don't know what was in that bottle that Cody Deaner gave her, and I think she should have to take a test afterwards to find out what that was, because that's not fair. As you can see, she's using it to her advantage, and just, I don't know what that was, but I mean, she's just a whole different person.
And here comes ODB with Madison and Sojo stacked up in the corner. Drives both of them back into the turnbuckles, and now takes Sojourner Bolt, and there goes the fall-away slam, overhead release.
The bottom line is you still don't get this victory here. Do you pin him or make somebody submit? No, DB, yeah, she's clean house, but she hasn't put anyone's shoulders yet to the mat.
Madison Rayne being driven down with authority. ODB hooks the leg and almost had the 3 count. Sojourner in for the save, and she had to do it.
Great move by Sojo there, because, the bottom line is if someone gets pinned and you're watching, all that means is that you lost too. You're just as much of a loser as the one that gets pinned, so you've got to be there to break them up when you can. Good move on the part of Sojo.
Sojourner right on ODB, goes for the cover, double sledge from behind by Daphne, stops the potential for the 2 count.
I'll tell you what, it's just something about me. Oh, man. Give her credit for that. That was vicious. This is her chance. Is it over? Madison Rayne, smart move there by the beautiful people wannabe and Madison Rayne, and she knew what to do and broke that up just in time.
Daphne sent off into the ropes and able to recover and take Madison Rayne by the hair and drive her down to the canvas. You see all 4 knockouts laid out in the 6 sides of steel. Great shot here of the crowd on hand at the Liacouras Center, Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for lockdown. And again, the flask is brought into play by Cody Deaner.
If you're not going to share, you shouldn't be allowed to use it. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, we've been down that road with you in the past, and that didn't work out too well, did it? Why don't you limit your drinking activities to after the pay-per-view?
Oh, come on.
Contents of whatever was in that flask spit directly into the face of Sojourner Bolt. Follow-up power slam. Pin, 2 and 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Queen of the Cage, ODB!
First of 2 matches tonight at Lockdown involving the TNA Knockouts, and it goes to ODB, and as a result of the win, she is the Queen of the Cage, and it's post-match celebration time with Cody Deaner.
I'll tell you what, you got to give her credit. You know, there's something about the steel cage. It just brings out the best in everyone because you have to raise your game to a different level. I mean, these girls knew what was at stake. They knew that this was all about getting themselves noticed again in the knockout division. All of them put a special effort.
And ODB and Cody, they're loving life. She gets the win. She is the queen of the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, so much intrigue, so much to be decided about the future of TNA here tonight at Lockdown. It's Mike Tenay, joined by Don West and DW. What a show, what a lineup we have for everybody tonight, exclusively on pay-per-view.
I'll tell you what, it's a night like no other. It's Lockdown, and one of the great matches that we're going to have is the New Japan Junior Tag Team Championship. And I'm going to tell you something. When you think about No Limit, when you think about the Motor City Machine Guns, and you think about LAX, all in the ring at the same time, incredible.
Get ready for the Doomsday Chamber of Blood. It's the Blueprint Matt Morgan going one-on-one with the Monster Abyss.
And the Knockout Championship is on the line. Angelina Love, and of course the champion Awesome Kong and Taylor Wilde.
World Tag Team dominance at stake, as well as the New Japan IWGP Tag titles and the TNA Gold Team 3D to face Beer Money Incorporated.
Of course, it's when the ceiling of the weapons drop down that Lethal Lockdown really begins. Team Jarrett takes on Team Angle in Lethal Lockdown.
TNA World Heavyweight Championship to go to the winner of our main event. It's the hardcore legend to square off against the icon. Can you imagine? It's Mick Foley facing Sting. And I mean, just think of the situation with Sting here. And when it comes to Mick Foley, I think for Sting, this is going to be a case of survival.
Absolutely. I mean, number one, you don't know who you're going to get when you get Mick Foley in that ring. We saw that last week on Impact. Is it Cactus Jack? Is it? Wait a minute. Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff is here now. I'm being directed to take a look at my monitor, and I'm told that Jeff Jarrett is arriving here at Lockdown, and there you see the TNA founder. There you see the King of the Mountain, as well as the team captain for Team Jarrett tonight. He is here.
Big question, though, is where's Samoa Joe? We've seen AJ Styles, we've seen Daniels, but we haven't seen the Nation of Violence.
Yes, you are looking live at the Leopolis Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Up next, the New Japan Junior Tag Team titles, internationally recognized belts, and they are going to go on the line, and here are the taglines. It was recently in Japan where Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns, they won the New Japan IWGP Junior titles. The Japanese team of Naito and Yujiro, No Limit, they get another chance to win back the belts that they lost to the Motor City Machine Guns. And not only do Homicide and Hernandez, not only are they challenged for these international titles tonight, they have future X Division and TNA World Title shots as a result of Feast or Fire. Just depends on when they decide to cash them in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is a three-team tornado match for the New Japan Junior Tag Team Championship. It is scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number one, representing the Latino nation, Homicide and Hernandez, the Latin American Exchange.
You can just feel the excitement in the crowd because they know that they're getting ready to see something special. When you got athletes with these tag team action and throwing the fact that it's a tornado tag, all six at one time, unbelievable.
Team number two from Tokyo, Japan, Naito and Yujiro, the team of No Limit.
The tag team that has been aligned with Kiyoshi, their countrymen, under the leadership of Sheikh Abdul-Bashir, looks to regain the championship belts that they lost to the Motor City Machine Guns. Naito, Yujiro, No Limit, they want the honor of taking back the gold that's representative of their home country and their home organization, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And you know they'd love to do it right here in Philadelphia, love to do it in a town where obviously they're not going to be the favorites in this matchup. I'll tell you something, don't count these guys out for a minute.
And ladies and gentlemen, from Detroit, Michigan, they are the New Japan Junior Tag Team Champions, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Don, you touched on it just minutes ago. Key to this match, Tornado Tag Team rules to apply. This isn't going to be about tagging in your partner, not about wearing somebody down, cutting off the ring. This is about putting 6 guys into 6 sides of steel, ringing that bell, and turning them loose.
Absolutely, and of course you've got to figure the favorites right there. The Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, these guys have held these belts now for quite a while, and it is with pride and honor that they do so. And what a test for the Motor City Machine Guns. What a test. If they come out of a match like this holding on to those belts, I mean, you've got to really sing their praises, and you've got to start thinking tag team championship match down the line for these guys.
Something like 4 months now, plus that they've held the New Japan Junior Tag Team Championship belts. IWGP is the name on the title belt, International Wrestling Grand Prix. That's from the New Japan Pro Wrestling Organization, as we see Naito with a tremendous move off the top into the crossbody on Alex Shelley.
Man, that was incredible. And I mean, you know, there was some questions on how he'd be, and this guy just absolutely climbed those ropes, came off of them just flawlessly, and you can see he's going right back up there again to do it again. You know, this is a situation though where the Guns have got to really be careful. I mean, they're a team that are so fun to watch, a team I've just grown so fond of, but they could lose these titles tonight and not even be pinned, not even submit. That's the kind of thing you've got to worry about in there. You've got to really depend on your partner if you're the Motor City Machine Guns to have your back.
Alex Shelley turns it around on Naito. You saw the impact of the drop kick in the corner while he was turned up, held upside down in the corner. Of course, when it comes to tag team gold, the Guns are the defending champions. We know that No Limit held these belts in the past, and LAX no stranger to tag team championships, and TNA tag team championship belts in Puerto Rico as well.
I'll tell you what, LAX is somebody that you'll really keep your eye on. The strength of Hernandez can be such a factor in a match like this. Where can anybody go? They can't run away from him. I mean, the guy's so powerful. Maybe the strongest man in TNA, and you've got to be careful and watch out for him. And another thing about Homicide Hernandez, smart, holding on to those briefcases, using them when it's the right time. No rush, no hurry. You got to respect that in these guys.
Yeah, I don't think that Big Supermax, Big Hernandez, ever going to be confused for a junior heavyweight. But when you look at his tag team partner, Homicide, and we've talked about how the junior heavyweights over in Japan is the equivalent of the X division here in TNA. That's why LAX fits.
Well, you know, we've always talked about how the X division is about no limits. Pardon the pun, with no limit inside the ring, but we've seen Supermax do things that X division athletes can't do. That's what makes him so incredible. But how about Sabin? Not intimidated at all by Hernandez, just going right after him and using that quickness and that speed.
Using the quickness, using the speed, using the kicks, and then attempting an octopus-style submission, but I don't think that's going to have a heck of a lot of impact on somebody like Hernandez. Going to try and take him over, and judging by the body language and the facial reaction that as I look into the cage, Hernandez doesn't think so either.
I'll tell you what, though, Chris Sabin able to escape and come out chopping. Ouch.
If you look up shoulder block in the dictionary,
I'll tell you what,
you would see a picture of Chris Sabin going airborne into the side of the 6 sides of steel.
If I'm a football coach, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to have that on video and show people and say this is the proper way to do it.
Shelley going to fire up, try and make a comeback for his partner on Hernandez, but you see Hernandez shaking his head no, like don't even think about it, Alex. Don't even try and suplex me over. As a matter of fact, this is how a suplex is done. Let's show you the high vertical, for example.
I swear he could probably hold that forever. But one thing about it, while you're doing that, it allows Sabin to come in there and chop you down, and that's what happened.
And now this is more to the Guns' liking. Sabin and Shelley with the double team, both connect with the elbow to the side of the head as Hernandez is sandwiched, but then he just bum brushes him and takes him high overhead, 2 for the price of 1. That's a suplex.
Time to come up with a new game plan there, Guns. Time to come up with it. I mean, I respect the fact that they went right after Hernandez, showing no fear. That sends a message. But sometimes you just got to, you know, think about it, reevaluate it, and do what you got to do.
Now it's No Limit with the double team on Shelley. Yuto and Nijiro working together. Naito sends Sabin into Yujiro. Inverted atomic drop, driven down to the canvas. The follow leg drop. and then the somersault splash.
You got to respect the way they're working together. I mean, they know they're outside of their element here in Philadelphia, and they're not intimidated at all. But one thing about it, don't ever celebrate too early. There's too many people in that ring to start celebrating too early.
Premature celebration by No Limit, as Don said, leads to Naito getting squashed in the corner, and then in the middle of the ring by LAX. And how about that for quickness, the follow-up drop kick by Homicide.
Mike, I mean, when you think about cohesiveness and how teams work together, there's not much better than these three tag teams right now in the ring. And I've heard you say so many times that this could be one of those show-stealer type matches, and you are absolutely right. But there was a situation where Homicide shot a little too far, didn't get the full impact.
And that's why they didn't get the 3 count. Sort of grazed him on the way down with that elbow. You can imagine, though, the adrenaline rush being here in Philadelphia, being in a matchup with these IWGP, the New Japan Junior Tag titles at stake. That's going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what's so neat about it is you know, those belts are important, and these guys want to be able to wear them so that they can show everybody worldwide how great they are. That's what makes TNA, I think, just so much better than everybody else, is the fact that the tag teams are so important in this company, and you can see it right here.
Sabin up the back of Shelley, the drop kick to Homicide, takes him down after he was crotched up on the top rope, and now the Guns back to the well. Let's see if the double team works better on Hernandez now.
It's got to work better. I love how they use that. They use each other. They're not afraid to put their body in harm's way. If the other one, they trust the other one to do it properly so they don't hurt themselves, and they work together. Look how they chop down Hernandez.
Double kick again on Hernandez. Now they're going to stack up LAX. How are they going to do it? They put Homicide up on the shoulders of Hernandez. Shelley hanging on to Homicide, who's trying to fight his way out, and then the missile drop kick to the back by Sabin.
That's what makes the Guns special. I mean, they're so innovative. I don't know of any tag team that's got that much in their repertoire as the Guns do. They come up with something new every single time you see them. Oh, there's a DDT for you.
Tornado style by Sabin on Homicide, and on the cover and on the pin. Slick Johnson counts 2.
Oh, that was close.
It was No Limit. I think that was Yujiro who came in for the save.
Good save, but he almost took a little too much time. He did get it, though, at the last second, and that's all that counts.
You're going to need those saves if you're going to stay alive. It's about survival as well as winning, because it is first pin or submission in this tornado tag with all 6 men involved. Here comes Alex Shelley. Hernandez moves out of the way. Now they're going to stack him up in the corner as Naito up the back of Yujiro in the drop kick, and then Homicide follows with the corner clothesline, and here comes Hernandez.
Wow, Alex Shelley was in the wrong place, wrong time. It's one shot after another, and you can see he's in dire straits, and opportunity right here, and Homicide knows it and goes after him. But I'll tell you what, how about No Limit taking a page out of the book of the Guns? I mean, that's what you've got to do, and now Shelley's in trouble. Wow.
Belly to belly. Overhead release style suplex by Hernandez on Shelley after Homicide catapulted him into his own partner. And now watch the LAX double team. Homicide heads up to the top. Hernandez the timing. He's got Yujiro positioned against the top rope.
Oh!
Homicide comes down with both boots.
Great camera angle there on that shot, and you can see, and that's it. No! Holy cow, how about Yujiro getting the shoulder up in time? I thought that was over.
Almost had New Japan Junior Tag Team Champions right there. LAX almost won the belts. That one was close. Hernandez catches Sabin in mid-move as he comes off the ropes. Takes him up. Sabin holding on. Let's see if Hernandez can overpower him. Sabin to try and slide down into a pinning predicament. Hernandez is fighting it. Watch Hernandez keep his legs spread at this point so that he maintains the leverage.
He's just like a tree. It's unbelievable. At least Sabin's not up on his shoulders. Oh, man, that's just the strength of Hernandez. It's just something to watch in person. And man. Oh, man.
What a landing that was. Not only bad enough that he went into the cage, but the way that Sabin landed on his head when he hit the mat. What a thud. You and I saw that. That was not good.
That was not good, and the Guns are in trouble now. I tell you what, everybody's been wanting to show themselves off by going after Hernandez in this way. And look at this, a border toss.
Into the cage.
Oh, right, just a running border toss into the cage.
Both of the Guns laid out courtesy of LAX's Hernandez, and now Homicide and Naito from No Limit battling. Nice slam, quickly done with authority by Naito. Double team move in the corner now. Naito and Yujiro fighting off Big Supermex. Going to try and shoot Hernandez of LAX across, and they do. They're ready for him. They catch him with the double boot into the midsection. That's one way to elevate him up.
That's how you do it there. Good
Power
teamwork.
down a 300-pounder.
1, 2.
You saw Naito counting along with referee Slick Johnson, but only 2. They want more than anything to take these championship belts back home.
Now give Homicide credit. He was in there just in time to break that up, and he didn't have much left to do it with. But I'll tell you something, it's been amazing how these guys have concentrated on Hernandez, and No Limit seems to have the secret. Oh, I'll tell you what. That was just the strength and the willpower of Hernandez getting the shoulder up at that time.
Motor City Machine Guns trying to get back into this matchup. Elevated over goes Sabin and powered down to the mat. And now high risk coming, high risk move on the way as Yujiro's up on top, diving headbutt, nobody home.
He missed, but on Chris Sabin, it just showed unbelievable intestinal fortitude to get out of the way of a situation. The longer this goes, though, you got to figure the Guns are going to get themselves back in it. Naito just took a real risky move.
Twisting moonsault missed. Homicide was going to go up to the top as well. Then Shelley came over and cut him off. Sabin is now back up into this match. Both of the Guns are back on their feet, and they're going to try and get some offense going here.
I'll tell you, though, it's great to see the Guns standing tall as you see both of them now on the top rope. Situation where it looked like they were going to be out of it. Now you can see them. You talk about ultimate teamwork. Yujiro took it. This is it. Oh, Hernandez just in time.
Sabin used Shelley, his own partner, as a weapon, and Shelley tries to fight off Hernandez with the series of elbow shots to the side of the head. How about that?
I mean, it's just
half Nelson suplex, tossed him all the way across the ring. Homicide's up on the top rope over here right in front of us, Don.
I'll tell you, though, No Limit, though, able to take that as Homicide, though. Nice drop kick. But No Limit's one of them that every time you turn around, they seem to have an answer for Hernandez. They seem to have an answer for the teamwork of LAX. I mean, they've been awful impressive in this matchup.
They may be the most effective team, although I'd probably give the nod to LAX just because of the power moves of Hernandez to this point.
Keep in mind, though, that neither one of those teams are the ones wearing those belts. And that's the Guns, and they just wait for their opportunity, and they took it there as Homicide just got knocked into oblivion. And now look at the kicks. They just took Hernandez down, and the Guns are on fire.
I thought once that Homicide hit the 187 that LAX were going to become the New Japan Junior Tag Team Champions. Not the case. Sabin and Shelley double team move on Naito in the corner. Sabin motions to the crowd here in Philly that it's time to put away No Limit and keep the belts. Here it is, made in Detroit.
That's how you do it, and it's done. Done.
Your winners and still New Japan Junior Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Gun.
Combination sliced bread powerbomb. They call it the Made in Detroit, and the Motor City Machine Guns, they've done it again. They're still New Japan Junior Tag Team Champs.
Where you got to give them credit, Mike, is their survival. They took everything that Big Hernandez could give them. We've got to look at some of the action in this matchup here if we could, because this was absolutely all that we thought it would be. I mean, how about the combination there by LAX?
It's going to be tough to pick the highlights in this one. There were so many of them, like that power move by Hernandez sending Sabin first into the side of the cage, and then his Guns partner Shelley.
But there you see it, the Made in Detroit, and there was nowhere for Naito to go, and the Guns, they outlasted everybody, and that's what makes them so impressive. And I'm telling you, TNA, it's time to start thinking about getting these guys in the title picture too. They are incredible.
Guns retain the gold. We're going to send it to the back where Lauren is standing by with the Monster Abyss.
I know I have a job to do tonight, but Chris, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't concerned about you tonight. You know what Matt's capable of doing. He doesn't just want to pin you. He wants to punish you. He wants to hurt you. And at the same time, you vowed to not use any weapons tonight. So how do you plan on surviving out there?
Oh, Lauren, first of all, thank you for being concerned about me. You're the greatest girlfriend ever. And you're right, I gave Dr. Stevie my word. But let's not forget one thing. Tonight is about survival. And if there's one thing I know how to do, Lauren, it's survive. From the time that my father abused me time and time again, to the time
that they deemed me mentally unfit and put me away. Tonight, Matt, I'm gonna take everything you have to dish out until there's nothing left for you to give. And then, Lauren, and then I'm gonna take out all my frustrations on you, Matt. Dr. Stevie says that it's good to take everything from the inside and let it out.
He didn't mean it like that.
Oh, yes, he did. And tonight, Matt, tonight, I'm gonna let it all out. On you.
There's got to be a better way. You still have a chance. You can get...
The 6 sides of steel cage is a very dangerous place. Locked inside with an opponent, there is no place to run and no place to hide. It can quickly become a dreaded fortress of brutality and violence. For others, the confinement of the cage can be an advantage. Some twisted individuals feel right at home. For Abyss, the cage signifies normalcy in his tortured mind. A place where he can be himself. A place where no one will judge him. A place where his demons can run free. Now, add barbed wire and the promise of blood, and you have a match that the monster can thrive in. Matt Morgan, beware. Despite your strength and athleticism, the Doomsday Chamber of Blood match is about one thing, and one thing only: carnage. There is no escape, no mercy. Instead, there will be anguish and blood. The Blueprint, Matt Morgan, and the monster, Abyss, prepare for war in the Doomsday Chamber of Blood.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match at TNA Lockdown is a Doomsday Chamber of Blood match scheduled for one fall. In this match, a wrestler cannot win until his opponent is bleeding. Introducing first from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Blueprint, Matt Morgan!
Don't confuse this for a first blood match. Yes, your opponent has to be bleeding first, but at that point, once your opponent is bleeding, as we see the Blueprint, Matt Morgan tossing a steel chair over the top of the cage, at that point going forward, then you can beat him by pin or submission, but only then.
Well, you can see the Blueprint. He's just looking for anything that he might be able to use, to get that blood flowing, get that blood started. You know, that's the thing about the steel cage. Sometimes you don't need anything to get the blood started, but in this case, it's guaranteed. I don't know what's in that bag.
What did he just take in with the chair? What is that? What's in that bag?
I don't know.
His opponent stands 6 feet 8 inches tall. He weighs 350 pounds. He is the Monster,
When the tag team of the Blueprint, Matt Morgan, and the Monster Abyss was formed, I think we saw in that team the potential to dominate a tag team division, but honestly, realistically, they just never got on the same page, and it's been hell to pay in warfare ever since the split. Look out for that chair.
Well, I'll tell you what, Abyss never got on the same page. I think Matt Morgan knew the direction he wanted to go. Abyss is just so... His mind is just so torn apart on whether he's supposed to be violent, whether he's not supposed to be violent. He's seeing therapists. He doesn't even know who he is. I mean, you know, Matt Morgan, it should have been an incredible tag team. It should have been a team that we talked about and maybe in a championship match tonight. And I don't blame Matt Morgan for being angry because, I mean, what could have been is not. Now he has a chance to take it out and make Abyss bleed.
Well, we heard Lauren in the back talking to Abyss and trying to talk about this matchup here, and and the problems that he's had with Dr. Stevie, the therapist that you mentioned, and I just don't know that Abyss really is going to be focused on the task at hand until he reconciles with that use of the weapons or not. And Don, in a match like this, you've got to use them.
Well, you
if
have
you're going to survive, if you're going to win this match.
I mean, we've always sat and talked about Abyss going back to the Abyss that we saw come into TNA, that Abyss that would do anything and everything and put it all on the line. We've seen part of that here as of late, but again, he's just conflicted at all times. One thing about it, Matt Morgan has a direction he wants to go. I mean, this guy's such an incredible athlete, almost 7 feet tall. I mean, you can just look at him and realize what he's all about. And this is a situation here, he just wants to just punish Abyss so that he can move on.
Side slam for Abyss, and you notice the hesitation. He sees the steel chair, but it's almost as if you can think what's going on and read his mind at this point as he picks up the steel chair. But he hesitates, he thinks about, and that hesitation comes back to haunt him. I was just going to say that he thinks about those sessions on the couch with Dr. Stevie, his therapist, trying to convince him not to use the weapons. He picks it up, but that moment of indecision comes back to haunt him with the big boot from Matt Morgan.
Well, that's why they couldn't work together. I mean, Morgan couldn't trust him. He couldn't trust him to be there with him fully. That was a situation where the old saying, he who hesitates is lost. That was a situation there with Abyss. He had the chair in his hand. He could have turned around, whacked Big Matt Morgan on the head with it, but he didn't do it. Now, right here in this situation, Matt is just taking the chair, throwing it out of the ring. Now, what is he planning to do with that? I don't know. One can only imagine.
That's what I'm going to presume. You tell me, but I'm thinking it's so Abyss can't use it as a weapon to open up Matt Morgan.
Either that or he's planning on doing something spectacular to bust Abyss's head open with it. And I'll tell you what, though, when he kicked the chair into Abyss's head, he busted Abyss wide open.
Now you can see it. I couldn't
and that's
see
what
it
that's what it was all about. He didn't need the chair anymore.
That's what it was.
There you go. He didn't need the chair anymore as Abyss is bleeding like a stuck pig. And now Matt Morgan can go for the pin.
It's actually very sound strategy on the part of the Blueprint. And boy, the blood is flowing. And taking a 350-pounder and throwing him against the side of the cage like that, follow cover in the pin. And the beautiful part about this for the Blueprint Matt Morgan is he can't be pinned or he can't submit because he's not bleeding, Don.
No, and you wonder the longer this goes, the blood loss that Abyss is going to deal with. I mean, Matt Morgan, what an incredible move. Able to do it early on. And it was that situation where Abyss had the chair in his hand. It could have been the other way around. He hesitated, and you saw that carbon footprint into the chair to make sure that it landed into the face, and it just hit him just right and cut him open. Oh, nice drop kick.
Isn't that amazing? The elevation that the 7-footer gets, a 300-pounder, a picture-perfect drop kick like that. There's a reason he's got the nickname the Blueprint as Morgan goes for the cover and has the far leg hook, but Abyss is able to kick out at 2. We've said it from the time that he made his debut here in TNA. You get an architect to draw up the perfect wrestler, you end up with the Blueprint Matt Morgan.
Now look at him just going right after that cut, that incision that he created earlier, just pounding him, getting that blood on the hand. That's a great shot, the blood on the hand there, as you can see it on the Blueprint Matt Morgan, and it's just driving him forward, and now he goes for that bag. And we're going to find out what's in it. There we've seen the tacks, we've seen broken glass, a lot of things that make you bleed. And keep in mind, the only blood on Matt Morgan is the Monster Abyss's. That's not his own. So the only one right now that can get the win, of course, is Matt Morgan. Oh, it's glass. Holy cow. Look at those shards.
The broken glass spread in the ring by the Blueprint Matt Morgan. The blood flowing freely from the head of the Monster Abyss. And now it's not a case of trying to beat him. Now it's not a case, Don, of trying to win this Doomsday Chamber of Blood match. It's about inflicting some more pain and punishment. He's not going to try and put him face first in there.
Look at the glass. The blood just pouring out of the head on top of the glass. Oh, my. That's a visual there. Matt Morgan just totally doing what he wanted. And that's just, you know what? That's just what he's got to do. Matt Morgan is just inflicting his will on Abyss. Just inflicting it. Look at that blood. Now he's holding the glass in his hands.
It's a spectacular yet sickening sight at the same time. The big piece of glass in the hand of the Blueprint Matt Morgan, potential to use it as a weapon, taunting Abyss, holding him, and Abyss is able to stop him before he can drive that glass into the top of his head.
Matt Morgan just trying to make a point here, just trying to do whatever damage that he can and basically just end it for Abyss. It's like, Abyss, if you can't make a decision, then you don't belong out here in this ring.
I'm just amazed that Abyss is able to get any kind of offense rolling and going at all with the loss of blood that we've seen. And it's almost like a desperation move as he leaves his feet with the shoulder block to take Morgan down.
Well, Morgan may have made a mistake. Now, I'm going to admit it. He may have made a mistake. We should have finished him off. We've seen Abyss, and he's one of those that that train gets to rolling. If he converts back to that devil may care, just doesn't care, and that's what it looks like you're seeing, then he's going to be hard to stop. As you can see him just one shot after another.
Well, he's trying to open Morgan up is what he's trying to do.
And he's put him on 4 of the 6 sides.
Going to take him up with a choke slam and drive him down back first. The cover here, but the pin.
That's right, good call.
You cannot get a pin until Morgan is bleeding.
Andrew Thomas right on it there. You got to give him credit. No pin, and that's just instinct there. You just feel like it, you're going, but there's nothing that you can do. Matt Morgan is not busted open. And he's not bleeding.
You certainly can't blame Abyss. It's the natural tendency in any kind of a match. Take into account and take into consideration the amount of blood that Abyss has lost, and of course he's going to be a little dazed and confused, to say the least.
I mean, that, you know, his white outfit is already crimson red, and that was one of them situations where if he doesn't open him up soon, he doesn't stand a chance. Matt Morgan realizes that, and I'll tell you, how important was it for the Blueprint to bust him that early?
He tried his best. He tried his damnedest to open up Morgan, putting him face first into the cage. And where's the Blueprint headed now? Going up to the top rope.
I mean, this is a 7-foot athlete just climbing up that rope like it's nothing.
Look out!
Oh, the referee just got taken out. And what a shot that was on Andrew Thomas by the Blueprint. Holy cow, he came off the top, and Abyss able to get out of the way just barely, just in time.
I mean, he hit him with a cross body block off the top. A 300-pounder, a 7-foot man, knocking the referee out. Watch this, and Abyss just avoided the contact, but Andrew Thomas is down, and now the Monster has got one of those big pieces of glass, and now Abyss is going to try and open Morgan up to lead to the potential for him getting a pin or submission win.
Well, he's got the opportunity.
Oh God.
Man, he just crashed that glass. Oh, come on, that's just not right. I mean, if you're going to do it the proper way. That was unbelievable. Oh, he just took that glass and that was hard to watch, Mike.
Well, there's a reason that this is
is he busted open?
There's a reason this is the most dangerous pay-per-view of the year. It may be the most barbaric as well, as you see the blood flowing from the head of Morgan after the glass was just driven right into his forehead by Abyss. Wow.
It's a bloody place to be inside the 6 sides of steel, and this is why as these two guys both just opened up and blood dripping in their eyes, and now they're just going on adrenaline, and what a shot by Matt Morgan.
They exchange. Every shot that Abyss was able to hit, Morgan was answering, and then Morgan comes back 3-4 shots of his own in succession, and then the black hole slam.
Well, this is an opportunity for Abyss to finish it off, but keep in mind,
the referee's down and out.
The referee is not there to make the
Here comes
count.
Slick Johnson from the back. We got that, get him in that cage. Gonna open up the cage door and count. Here we go. Here's 1. Here's 2.
No. I'll tell you what, that's all he needed. All Matt Morgan needed was that extra second. That extra second, and it cost Abyss. And again, that's a situation where, wow, Matt Morgan just showing just unbelievable heart and desire there.
Look out. Abyss opening up the steel cage door. And the Monster has decided that he's going to leave the 6 sides of steel. Who the hell knows what's on his mind? Just cameramen around ringside. It's like a war zone down here.
Well, he's looking.
What's he got?
Oh, man, he's got a chair in his hand.
That's the chair that Morgan tossed out, isn't it?
Yeah, he wants to inflict more damage. He wants to take that in. And remember.
What? Dr. Stevie, and I just saw his face when he went by the broadcast table. That's Stevie Richards.
Well, you better believe it is.
The look on the face of Abyss, reacting as he sees Stevie Richards' doctor's carbide footprint.
And I'll tell you what, and just cost him. Oh, man, was that close. Stevie Richards, though, came out here and pulled that chair away. He was not going to let Abyss use it.
Morgan has Abyss. But then Abyss, he had him down on his knees, but then Abyss gets back up to his feet and starts the offense again.
Oh, that look that Abyss is
you're
giving
not kidding.
Stevie.
You and I are seeing it better than anybody, just a couple of feet away from us.
I'll tell you this, look at him.
He's asking him for the chair.
He's begging him.
And of course, Dr. Stevie or Stevie Richards, whatever you want to call him, is saying no weapons, no weapons.
No more violence, I can read his lips. No more violence in Abyss, look at this. Abyss, again, conflicted here. I mean, this is somebody that just can't make up his mind, and Stevie Richards is in his head. Wow. Tell you what.
Abyss back under the six-sided ring, finds another bag, and who knows what the contents is. I'm trying to listen to Dr. Stevie, a.k.a. Stevie Richards. He says, don't you do it. Isn't that what he's saying?
I just showed you that anybody, no matter what hard work you can put into it, can work hard and become a psychiatrist.
A wobbly Abyss trying to recover, and it hits the tax, and Stevie Richards throws down the chair, and Dr. Stevie is getting in the cage to confront the monster.
Abyss should be listening to therapy, and he's not now. He's just got to come out here and let him have it.
This is what we saw on the couch recently on Impact. The open-handed slaps, the shots to the side of the head. Oh, and then the low blow from behind by the Blueprint, Matt Morgan.
See, all he had to do was look at this. Oh, buddy.
What right force. Down into the tax.
What unbelievable force. Oh, man.
Amidst the thousands of tacks, Morgan drapes the arm and gets the 3 count and wins the Doomsday.
Here is your winner, the Blueprint, Matt Morgan.
I'd like to be in their next session. Amazing. Dr. Stevie Richards. Wow.
He was the difference maker in more ways than one in this match if you really think about it.
It absolutely was. Abyss had the opportunity. He could have finished him off, but he didn't.
Hold on, Don. I think we're about to get some answers. We're going to hear from the TNA founder, JB's, with Jeff Jarrett.
I am here with the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff, tonight the entire locker room is buzzing right now, wondering what side you will be on when that lethal lockdown cage lowers and all 8 of you are fully enclosed inside the 6 sides of steel. Jeff, we know the history with you and Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. We know your disappointment as of late with Mick Foley, and we know your disappointment in the TNA Original since the Main Event Mafia formed. But, Jeff, my question for you is this. Tonight, which side of Jeff Jarrett will we see? What's the side we've previously known through the years, or the side we know right now?
And what side might that be, JB? Is that my good side or my bad side? I've heard everything said about me the last few weeks. I've heard about AJ and Daniel's comments about the call I made this past Thursday on Impact. I've heard them question me. I've heard them doubt me. You know what my feeling is? They need to take a look at themselves in the mirror. Instead of worrying about Jeff Jarrett, they need to worry about themselves. I mean, where were they the last 6 months? Where were they when I needed them? You know what the real question is, JB? Does Jeff Jarrett need to start worrying more about Jeff Jarrett than he used to? And the answer to that question is, you damn right he does.
Damn right. What the hell's that supposed to mean, Jeff?
You know what that means? That means that I'm going to do what I always do, and that's the right thing.
No tricks, Jeff. No tricks.
They have given everything for a division no one believed in, fighting against the odds to bring their dreams to life. All of the blood they have shed will be nothing compared to the hell they are about to enter. The 6 sides of steel shows mercy for no one, be it the brute strength of Awesome Kong?
Angelina up, implant buster down.
How will the unforgiving steel affect her dominance as the current knockout champion? The high-flying agility of Taylor Wilde.
I'll give Taylor Wilde credit. I mean, she's been impressive from day one.
Can her quickness help her escape bloodshed in this house of pain? Or the technical prowess of Angelina Love? What will she have up her sleeve as she looks to fulfill her destiny to rule the knockout division?
I want the TNA Knockout title at any cost.
No one is safe within these walls. Who will survive and become the TNA Knockout Champion? Awesome Kong defends the TNA Women's Knockout Championship against Angelina Love and Taylor Wilde.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next at Lockdown, it's our second knockout match of the evening. This time, the Women's Knockout Championship is at stake in a three-way match. Here's the tail of the tape to break it down for you. Since the knockout title was instituted a year and a half ago, Awesome Kong has held the championship belt for 12 of those 18 months. Angelina Love promises she will do anything to win the knockout championship for the first time tonight. In recent weeks, the beautiful people have taken the scissors to the governor, to Taylor Wilde, to Raisha Saeed. But did they go too far? They raised the ire of Awesome Kong when they cut her braids this week on Impact.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. It is scheduled for one fall. Introducing challenger number 1. Accompanied to the ring by Velvet Sky, representing the beautiful people, Angelina Love!
I'll tell you what, this is her night to shine. You talk about somebody that's got herself prepared for this, has been on a rampage, has done everything that she set out to do. You know, there's just moments that you feel belong to somebody, and when you see these two come out here and look at this, you got to realize.
Look at what?
This is their night. The two greatest butts I've ever seen in one place at one time.
Gotta love the confidence of the beautiful people, especially Angelina Love, who promises that she's not leaving Lockdown without the Knockouts title, but cutting the hair of Awesome Kong?
That might be risky.
Challenger number 2 is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. She is Taylor Wilde.
You saw as we broke down the match, the tail of the tape for this championship knockouts title bout, how Kong has been so dominant. For that one stretch, that 3-month reign, it started back in July of last year. This was the young lady who held the gold. Taylor Wilde, and we've said it, Don, since she arrived here in TNA, she just may have the number of Awesome Kong. There's something about Taylor Wilde.
You're right.
The final participant in this match is accompanied to the ring by Raisha Saeed. She stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. She weighs 272 3/8 pounds. And she is the TNA Women's Knockout Champion. She is Awesome Kong!
Look at that look on her face. Those braids that are cut off, and you know, I even mentioned it. That was a risky move. You unleashed that beast. And the thing about it is now Taylor Wilde and Awesome Kong actually have a reason to kind of work together, and that's never been possible in the past. But if anybody can make their way through it, it's Angelina Love.
I'm sure you recall the reaction of Awesome Kong on Impact when she got to the back, when she got to the locker room area, and the realization set in what the beautiful people had done to her, the cutting of the braids, and you could see when she came down on the different lengths of hair of the braids of Awesome Kong. She just snapped, throwing everything around that locker room on Impact this past week. She immediately takes it to Angelina Love, and then Taylor Wilde follows up in the corner. You made mention of this. All of a sudden, it's Taylor Wilde and Awesome Kong working together against Angelina.
Well, this is a part of it that, you don't realize. You don't think far enough ahead. You heard me. When I saw how ballistic Kong went, and we were looking at that, it's like you question someone's motives. But the bottom line about Angelina Love, it's been her goal from the beginning. I mean, she said she was going to do it. She said she was going to get that title shot. And you can see Taylor Wilde realizes now, Awesome Kong doesn't want any friends. Awesome Kong doesn't need any friends.
Yeah, well, that coexisting, that working as a team, less than a minute as Kong just takes Taylor Wilde and throws her down with a splat, and now she can turn her attention to Angelina. And, with every shot, with every knife-edge chop like that to the chest, you have to wonder if Angelina's thinking maybe we did go too far when we cut the braids, when we cut the hair of Kong. Here she goes up, could be the awesome bomb, but Angelina fights it off, drops down, roll through, whoa, sit down splash. Angelina moves out of the way.
Shows that speed, and now she's got Taylor Wilde working with her without Taylor Wilde even realizing it. And look at what Angelina does. She spins right off, and now the two of them go right after and do a little teamwork. It's the brains of Angelina Love that's going to win this match up here. I mean, she has turned this thing, and she even was letting Taylor Wilde do some of the dirty work.
Face to face and nose to nose goes Taylor Wilde and Angelina Love of the beautiful people. You saw both pin attempts by both of these TNA knockouts. Quick roll through here by Taylor, and two before the bridge by Angelina. That is impressive.
People don't realize her wrestling skill. I mean, they just look at the beauty of her in Velvet, and they think that's what they're all about, and that's not the case. That's why this is a night she's been thinking about from the day the beautiful people got together here in TNA.
First pin, first submission to decide this matchup with the knockout title on the line involving these three competitors. Taylor sent off into the ropes. Awesome Kong getting back up to her feet. Catches Taylor as she comes off. Oh, did you hear that? Taylor Wilde just flung right into the side of the steel.
We talk about how Taylor Wilde's always had the number of Kong in some way, but I'll tell you, you just see Kong in action and inside the cage as Angelina's trying to trip her up, trying to make her fall, which you got to get Kong on the ground somehow, but if you don't do it, you get this. And that's just pure awesome strength.
The dominant offense that we have seen from Awesome Kong from the moment that she arrived in TNA, and it's on display right there, taking Angelina Love, grabbing her around her neck, tossing her down, and now here is the giant swing. Doubly effective move there. Not only Angelina Love going down and crashing against the canvas, but at the same time being dazed while she's being swung around by Kong, who's lifting her up, but at the same time the near 300 pounds of Awesome Kong is on the blonde hair of Angelina.
Come on, Rudy Charles, you got to put a stop to something like that.
What?
Absolutely.
Put a stop to something? Why would you want to put a stop to something like that? After what they did to Awesome Kong, cutting her hair, why do you want to put a stop to that? That's what I thought.
Because I want Angelina to win.
Kong back on the offense, and after Angelina goes flying, Taylor does as well. Shot across the ring, and boy, Rudy Charles trying to get in the face of Awesome Kong to stop her or slow her down, but I don't think that Rudy's going to have any effect on slowing down this train named Awesome Kong. There's a choke slam.
I'll tell you what, it's destruction now. You're just watching her dismantle them both. I mean, for Taylor Wilde or Angelina Love to have a chance at this, they've got to survive. They've got to figure out a way to survive. What in the world?
Awesome Kong to the top rope.
Holy cow. Man alive, she wants to end it right here. Angelina Love.
Again,
get out of the way. Oh, my God.
Somersault splash off the... Who the hell knew?
I didn't know.
Who the hell knew?
I didn't know the ring could hold it. But Angelina Love able to get out of the way, or that would have killed her. That would have killed anybody. Here it is.
Cover. Oh, here comes Taylor in for the save.
Taylor Wilde puts a shot on Kong, and look at her. She's apologizing, saying she did it to Angelina. And then that Mafia kick there by Angelina Love on Taylor Wilde.
Oh, that one has the crowd buzzing here in Philadelphia.
Look at this.
What are they doing?
No, they gotta stop her. You gotta.
What do you mean they gotta stop her? You've got Velvet Sky getting it. They're taking the braids, the hair of Awesome Kong.
And tying it up.
They're tying her to the side of the cage.
Oh, it's braids, buddy. It's what I said. It's how you stop it. You've got to make sure that you keep Kong out of it. All she's got to do is pin Taylor Wilde.
Yeah, Raisha Saeed is chasing Velvet around the cage, but at the same time, Angelina's tying more of the braids of Kong to the side of the cage.
Watch out for Taylor Wilde. Taylor Wilde's up high.
Here she comes.
Oh.
Crossbody could be a new champ. 2. No, only 2.
Angelina able to get that shoulder up in
Barely.
the last second. Uh-oh, here's another shot at it. Again, look at that. Just, I mean, willpower. Absolute willpower that she's able to do it.
And Angelina took quite a shot from Taylor Wilde off the top right there. And well, you can see how dazed she is as Taylor Wilde tries to continue the beat down here.
Absolutely. I mean, she is just absolutely going on sheer willpower here as Taylor Wilde. And I mean, Angelina loves showing us she's made of something special. As you can see, she's just fighting on and just trying to hold on and just trying to get herself back in this match. She absolutely conked her head. Just conked her head. Took a shot on that cross body block.
Angelina down and referee Rudy Charles checking on her condition. Taylor Wilde goes over to see what's up with Kong, and Kong kicks right in the pin.
Rolled it right into her.
Here is your winner and new TNA Women's Knockout Champion, Angelina Love.
Oh my God, she was able to steal it. I don't believe it. I thought she was out cold. I thought she was completely out, and I know she was hurt, but she was still able to do it. And Kong is mad as her hair tied to the steel cage.
Angelina did that on fumes alone. As you see, Kong is going nuts over here. Raisha's going to try and get her untied from the cage door. Angelina promised that she was going to leave Lockdown with the title, and she did, and Kong is going nuts.
And she knew there was one way to do it. You have to get the pin no matter who it was.
Angelina Love becomes knockout champion. Let's go to Lauren with Team 3D.
Guys, Brother Ray, Brother Devon, what else can I say but welcome home?
You know something, Lauren, you're right. We are home. Because you see, before my brother and I got in this business, we were nobodies, trying to make ourselves somebodies. But you see, this great city right here, Philadelphia, has shown us the respect over the years. So as far as I'm concerned, this is like a homecoming for Team 3D. This is our own block party. Hell, when everything is said and done, we're gonna go down to Tony Luke's and have ourselves a couple of Philly cheesesteak. But most importantly, beer money. When everything is said and done, after we're done whooping you in that ring, by the time the cops get to you, you're gonna have more cracks in your head than the Liberty Bell. Oh, my brother, testify! Wait a minute, wait! Shh. Philadelphia street fight, baby! Beer money, do you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby! You're gonna die! The most important tag team match in the history of pro wrestling. Welcome to our home. Welcome to our backyard. Welcome to hardcore heaven, but most importantly, welcome to Philadelphia. Oh, yeah.
19th, Lockdown, Philadelphia. For the first time ever, the IWGP World Tag Team titles will be defended on American soil against the TNA World Tag Team titles. I like to call this the match for World Tag Team domination. I fear for Beer Money's life, not because of what we plan on doing to them inside of that cage, but because of the fans in Philadelphia.
By going into Philly and beating the greatest tag team in history, that's going to solidify us as the best. And by gaining the New Japan World Tag Team titles at the same time, we have a chance to prove to the world that we are the future of tag team wrestling.
Those fans are going to want Beer Money's blood splattered all over the arena. Beer Money is a good, young team. They're not Team 3D from Philadelphia. That is a hostile environment. The most hardcore city in the world. You got to give the people what they want. Philly street fight, and it is going to be a very bad place to be for Robert Roode and James Storm. I don't think they can fathom what they're in for.
It doesn't matter if it's in Philly, it doesn't matter if it's in New York or in a field somewhere. We don't care where it's at. The fact is, we're coming to Philly to become the best.
Axl Rose once said, "Do you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die."
Testify.
Team 3D and Beer Money Inc. fight for World Tag Team domination in a Philadelphia street fight.
Get ready for the 4th of 5 championship matches tonight at Lockdown. This one's extra special. Double championship belts on the line. You see on your screen the graphic. IWGP, International Wrestling Grand Prix. That's New Japan Pro Wrestling's version of their World Tag Team titles. And here's the TNA Tag Team Gold as well. Yes, both of those championship belts are at stake in this big matchup. Let's go to the taglines to preview this tag team title match. Quite honestly, the two most prestigious tag team titles in wrestling today on the line. As we mentioned, both championships go to the winners. Imagine the bragging rights that go with having possession of both Japan's and the United States top tag team gold. TNA management's Jim Cornette owed 3D a favor. Brother Ray, Brother Devon. They decided they're going to cash it in. They want to turn this, appropriately enough, into a Philadelphia street fight, and the fans here in Philly are looking for Beer Money's blood.
Ladies and gentlemen, TNA's Lockdown continues with this Philadelphia street fight for the New Japan and TNA World Tag Team Championships, scheduled for one fall. In this match, the cage door shall be opened up, allowing both teams to fight in the arena, and falls count anywhere. Introducing team number 1, they are the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Cowboy James Storm and Robert Roode, the team of Beer Money Incorporated.
I'll tell you what, buddy, these guys got nothing to lose. That's what makes them great.
They are the greatest in the world.
They're not feeling the pressure. They want to win it here. They want this match in Philadelphia. And you know what? If they do it, and they retain those titles here tonight, there's nothing 3D or anybody can say. And let's face it, their legend begins.
And their opponents, making their return to the city that made them famous, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the New Japan Tag Team Champions, Brother Ray and Brother Devon. They are Team 3D.
There's no question that Brother Ray and Brother Devon have what would be considered a home court, a home field, a home ring, a home cage advantage. But is that going to be too much pressure for Team 3D here in Philadelphia? Because quite honestly, they've got to win in front of the crowd. And here they come, the reigning New Japan Tag Team Champions, Brother Ray and Brother Devon. They're coming through there, people on their way to the cage. But we're going to open the door to the cage. We're going to turn this into a Philadelphia street fight.
I'll tell you what, they're milking it. They're milking it for all it's worth. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You gotta do it now. You gotta do it. They gotta get that crowd behind them, because one thing about it, Beer Money is not intimidating. Not intimidating. So you have to be careful. They gotta be careful if this thing spills out into the crowd, because one thing we know about 3D, they're relentless.
Beer Money's not intimidated. Well, you know that Team 3D, intimidation, that's not even in their vocabulary. And, whoa, Brother Ray taking the steel steps and moving them out of the way. Here comes 3D inside the 6 sides of steel to confront Beer Money. And it's title versus title. One tag team is walking away with all the gold, baby.
I'll tell you one thing, you can feel it in here. You know something special's about to happen. You know what I mean?
And here we go. There's the bell, and they turn him loose. But I'm not sure that this cage is going to hold him for long.
Oh, I promise you, this thing's gonna come out into this crowd if 3D has their way. Now, if Beer Money's smart, they'll try to keep it inside this thing. Take the steam out of 3D early. That's what you got to do. And keep in mind, 3D is just so emotional about this. Yeah, it's a great story. They're coming home and all of that. But the bottom line is they're so worked up. They're so emotional. It can be tough to continue to keep that adrenaline. You're burning it so quick. Whoa, right into the table.
Brother Ray takes Storm, shoots him right into Rude, and there goes the Cowboy as well out to the floor. Referee Slick Johnson positioned inside the cage. Referee Earl Hebner outside. Philadelphia street fight, and we knew that cage wasn't going to hold these 4 for long, and here we go.
This is not what Beer Money wanted. This is not what Beer Money wanted. They did not want it to come to this, and now it's already spilled out, and you can see that it is going to be dangerous. Beer Money's got to survive this onslaught. They've got to survive it.
Got a split screen to try and follow the activity. We're going to watch it along with you as Team 3D is taking it to the streets.
Well, this is playing right into their hands. This is what they wanted. They wanted to bring the crowd into it. They wanted to get the crowd behind them. Well, they've done that. There is no doubt about it. But that's the kind of thing about Beer Money. They have the kind of ears that doesn't listen to this crowd. They just focus on what they got to do.
Storm, the Cowboy, James Storm, and Brother Ray square off at the top of your screen. Bottom of your screen, it's Brother Devon and Robert Roode. Battle all throughout the Lacora Center here at Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And to me, it looks like 3D's in the driver's seat.
Well, like I said, this is what they wanted. And it looks like, I'm trying to follow this action. It's you see Storm just smashed Brother Ray's head up at the top of the stairs. Somehow Storm got the advantage right here in the crowd. I mean, that's amazing.
Looked to me like Brother Ray, and Brother Ray from around the corner. It's like they're up in one of the luxury boxes up there. Brother Ray from around the corner battling with Storm.
Well, from what I understand, a Philadelphia street fight, there's no rule book to go grab. Suites are available. Lobbies are available. Outside is available. It's all part of this match. It's all in play, Mike.
All in play, and falls count anywhere as well. And you can see the battle headed up to the top concourse. You hear those shots. Robert Roode catching him from Brother Ray. The punches to the back, the punch to the head. There's one for Storm. Devon has Storm by the hair, bringing him back into the view of the crowd. Well, this is where it gets dangerous. Up at the top, up by that top concourse, the second level area, and where you have to navigate these steps.
I'll tell you what, there could be a bad fall. And if you take a bad fall, you could go a long way down. But look at Roode coming in there to help Storm, trying to fight back, but Brother Ray's got him. Oh, puts him right on the guardrail.
He just crotched Roode right on the rail, the handrail that you would use to walk down the steps. The crowd rocking, you hear the chants of 3D, and Storm just took something and threw it in the face of Devon, and Storm's unleashing the offense.
Well, that's what you got to do if you're Storm. You just got to fight through it.
Boy, this is a dangerous situation as they battle among the crowd.
They're trying to, you can see security trying to work them back down. I mean, like you're going to tell Brother Ray what to do, but the bottom line is Beer Money just holding on. Oh, come on, he's biting him.
Devon gnawing on the head of James Storm. Don West is upset about that, but Don, you weren't too upset with what Beer Money did to Balls Mahoney and Brother Run on Impact, were you?
Well, I'm not going to say you can't do it because it's all illegal in this match. You just hate to see it, but the bottom line, though, you got to give it to 3D. They have taken control of this matchup, and they are doing everything that they said they'd do, Mike.
We talked about the pressure that 3D was under because it's in Philadelphia. But what we're seeing is Brother Ray and Brother Devon using the crowd here in Philly to fuel their offense.
Now finally Robert Roode gets over the rail to get back over here. Maybe the only thing that could save his life is that crowd was vicious. Definitely the crowd behind 3D, about 98% to 2. But you know what? Beer Money's still on their feet. And look at Robert Roode, the shots to Brother Ray. And he has just now taken this thing and turned it around. And James Storm got deep. Oh, he just spit the beer right in his face.
Devon blinded after Storm spit the beer right in his eyes. And now Storm takes Devon, tosses him into the steel, into the guardrail.
Well, now that they got some room
oh
to
my
work.
God! Did you see the
What
cage
a
door?
shot.
I'm not sure if we
Absolutely,
got
I
it or
saw
not,
it.
but the cage door was used by Storm as a weapon, and he flung it with all the force that you can imagine right into the face of Brother Ray.
Look how things have turned around right here as they were able to get it back down here, and with the room, the athleticism of Beer Money is taking over. The athleticism of Beer Money now in control of this matchup, and that's what I meant, Mike. They had to survive, and they did.
Beer Money's got a game plan. They've got some kind of strategy. They position the steel steps away from the ring, and now they're bringing a table and positioning a table next to those steel steps.
Now look at this, as they've got Devon in trouble. Beer Money working together. Now look at this move.
Oh, they're going to go for the Beer Money suplex here. Here comes the double team on Devon.
Oh,
and he's up and he...
Wow! Just smashed him through the table, and you can see Devon's leg just gyrating as they put it through the...
We got to take another look at this. Here comes the replay, and watch the impact as they take 300 pounds of Brother Devon right through the table and trying to turn it around on Team 3D and beat them at their own game. And as one would suspect, after Brother Ray went right into that cage door, right into the steel cage door, he's been split, he's been busted wide open in the head.
Well, we talk about how that steel cage is unforgiving. You saw it firsthand. He was hit with such a force. Storm through that cage right into his face, and now Team 3D, and I mentioned this, that emotional roller coaster, they were so high, that adrenaline level was so high that when you come down hard, you crash hard. Beer Money is taking advantage, and it's 2-on-1. This is their chance right now to get both of those tag team championships.
And this is where the cage can be used to lock Brother Devon out, as they've done. They not only take him out of play, but they get Brother Ray inside the 6 sides of steel, and now they can beat him right here. No, 2 only before he kicks out as Roode went for the cover.
I'll tell you what, Beer Money's got to concentrate right now on just going after pin, or maybe the 2 of them making them submit. While you've got Devon out, the last thing you want is Brother Ray to figure out a way to survive and last, and Devon to get back inside that cage. I'm watching Devon here in front of me, man, and I mean, he's going through like convulsions.
Very slow to recover, and how about the move by Brother Ray? Comes back with those big open hand slaps, and you heard them just reverberate and echo all throughout the arena. And then he leaves his feet to take down both Storm and Roode. As Roode comes at Brother Ray, he's powered down with the slam.
I'll tell you, that's exactly what Beer Money didn't want to have happen. To have Brother Ray get himself a second win. A guy of that size and strength that can be damaging. And look at this. Brother Ray going to the top rope there. He's wanting to end it on Robert Roode. And you can see Storm just doing what he has to, but oh, he took a bad fall.
Brother Ray caught him with a shot, hit him with the punch. Storm taken out of play, being crouched on top. And now again, because Brother Ray was climbing up to the top, he had his back to the ring. And that's what's coming back to haunt him. At the same time, his vision is impaired because the blood is flowing down into his eyes.
I'll tell you what, Devon right here in front of us has got himself the cage door open, trying to climb in, but he doesn't have the strength. But oh no!
No!
Not
the
boom! Oh man!
Top rope Bubba bomb on Robert Roode.
I don't even think Robert Roode's going to get up from that one.
Please, please, guys in the truck, give us another shot and watch the impact, watch the landing.
Oh my God, it's done. Wow, can you believe it? Robert Roode showing us something. Can you believe he was able to get the shoulder up after that? That's the kind of a guy he is.
Oh, we were revisiting that Bubba bomb. We didn't see the pin attempt, and it was so close, but Roode amazingly able to avoid the 3 count. And what did Storm just hit him with? Storm is on top, and Storm gets 2 only before Brother Ray kicks out.
I'll tell you what, though, it was looking dire for Beer Money, and again, they were able to get this thing around. I don't know how anybody, you can see Roode holding onto his spine as he's got to be in severe pain after that Bubba bomb, but the bottom line is Devon is slowly working his way back in, and he sure does it. He crashes Storm and puts him into the cage.
Big power move by Devon. Oh, Brother Ray just took Storm up.
1,
the pin, 2.
Oh!
They almost got Roode that time, didn't they?
I'll tell you what, Robert Roode is showing us something special. I mean, you're seeing something special there. I don't know of any other person. I just can't believe he was able to get that shoulder up twice.
You're seeing pure survival instincts by Robert Roode on several occasions.
Yes. I'll tell you what, let's give it to Devon. I thought he was done out. Not even going to make it back in this match, and he found his way back into the cage.
Storm up on the shoulders of Brother Ray. Devon headed to the top. Here he comes from the top.
Oh, no. Oh!
Top rope clothesline. Pin.
1, 2,
and no.
James Storm doing the same thing. He's not ready to give up those titles. I'll tell you something. Both these teams, of course, are so impressive. I'll never forget Team 3D when they sat there and told us that this is the best tag team that they've seen in years and years and years. And now they're seeing it. And I mean, look at the momentum turn.
We talked about Roode's survival, but Roode with the quick offensive burst, but then goes into that buzzsaw. Ready for a little what's up?
Here it comes. And there's nowhere for Roode to go.
What's up off the top by Devon on Roode.
Oh man, you can just feel that from that level.
Beer Money totally on the defensive at this point. Both Storm and Roode are down. Both members of 3D are up. And you can just feel Brother Ray and Brother Devon soaking up the adulation of this crowd in Philadelphia.
What did they say?
You heard it.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, you heard it. Tables coming into play. Devon going underneath the cage. Here comes the wood. They're chanting as one. You hear them in Philly, demanding the tables, demanding the wood for Team 3D. And Devon's able to slide the table into Brother Ray.
I'll tell you though, this is taking too much time. It's taking way too much time.
This is the opening that Beer Money needed.
Absolutely. Storm took advantage of it. Now Roode's taking advantage of it. And how about this? Beating them at their own game. Would that be incredible for Beer Money?
Double team, the backdrop suplex on Brother Ray, courtesy of Beer Money Incorporated. And now Storm and Roode take Devon and toss him powerfully into the side of the 6 sides of steel.
I'll tell you, it just shows you how quickly things
like
can
that,
turn. Yeah,
just like
it
that.
It can show you how quickly things can turn around, and boy, they did.
Storm has Devon up on his shoulders, and Roode comes off the ropes and snaps his neck.
Here we
Here's
go.
The pin.
Here we go.
Here it is. 2 only from Hebner. Devon able to power out before 3.
Well, you can just look into the eyes of Storm and Roode, and they couldn't believe that he was able to get the shoulder up. But I'll tell you what, you got to admit, it delivers. This is unreal. You could just feel the excitement in here as Beer Money. Oh, man, getting ready to let the air out of the tire. Both of them up at the same time.
Roode on one side of the cage, Storm on the other. Diving headbutt by Roode. Nobody home, and then the somersault off the top by Storm, and Brother Ray able to roll out of the way both times.
Tell you what, the double whip there, very costly. And oh, but how about the spine buster on Brother Ray by Robert Roode?
How impressive is that move on somebody the size of Brother Ray, snapping of the neck, the drop-down neck breaker by Rude on Devon, storms back outside the cage.
Yeah, he's holding his knee, too. He's holding his knee. He's in unbelievable pain. He's going to try to gut it out, though. That's what he's all about. That's what all four of these guys are all about. Let's be honest on that.
Rude is signaling to Storm. We saw what they did with that.
Yeah,
we saw what they did with that cage door earlier on Brother Ray.
Oh, it backfired. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You can say it, Don. 3D. 1, 2, 3. They did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, New Japan World Tag Team Champions and new TNA World Tag Team Champions, Team 3D.
Wow. Tag team dominance has been achieved by Team 3D. All the championship belts, all the gold go to Brother Ray and Brother Devon. Bottom line, Team 3D delivered in Philadelphia.
There's no way you can deny 3D.
Let's revisit everything that went down in this incredible match. There's the beer money suplex, the double team by Storm and Rude, putting Devon through the table.
Well, this is when all the momentum changed, but that momentum kept going back and forth, and then that bubble bomb. How Robert Roode kicked out of that, nobody in the world knows. And here it was another situation where it looked like 3D had it in hand, but that was the kill shot. The cage hitting Roode into the 3D, and they are World Tag Team dominant right now.
Let's apply the numbers to this as well. Add the TNA World Tag Team title to the New Japan, and you give me the number. How many titles?
22.
I couldn't hear you. How much?
22.
It's so loud in here. 22-time World Tag Team Champions, Team 3D to JB. Let's send it to JB with the Main Event Mafia.
Kurt Angle, I have to be honest with you. Tonight, it appears as though the Main Event Mafia is as focused as we've ever seen you. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that this is some sort of air of confidence tonight. Does this have anything to do with Jeff Jarrett, the founder of TNA Wrestling, and everything that's been going on with him?
JB, come on. What Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner have been talking about for the past few weeks has nothing to do with it. Okay, it's between them. See, this confidence that's in the air, it's about many things. Like Booker T seeking revenge on AJ Styles after AJ practically stole the Legends title from him last month. It's about Sting welcoming Sting back to the Main Event Mafia. It's about Scotty Steiner. Critics say that he's washed up, that he has too many injuries, he can't go. And what I see, the past few months, he's had some of the best matches of his career. And last but not least, big sexy Kevin Nash. There he is, making his comeback. 2 months ago, he almost died of a staph infection. Here he is tonight, making his big comeback. See, people say that we're over the hill, that we can't go no more. What if Kurt Angle injures his neck again? What if Kevin Nash blows his knee out again? Okay, these are the questions that are asked. What if this? What if that? What if? Okay, that's what these young punks, they're hanging their hopes and dreams on the what ifs, knowing that they will never beat us. You see, wrestlers come and go, but legends of the game always remain. See, tonight, in that cage, we're going to have 3 opponents that are younger than us, faster than us, and stronger than us. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. But we know something that they don't. You win with this, not this.
What is that supposed to mean?
You figure it out.
It only happens once a year.
The Main Event Mafia has been dominating since October. And there's not a damn thing that you can do about it.
A lethal match where 8 men are locked inside a cage with weapons to resolve their differences.
Samoa Joe, the Main Event Mafia made a mistake last time, but I guarantee, at Lockdown, we are gonna end your career.
Once inside the infamous 6 sides of steel cage.
I hope to God that you bring Jeff Jarrett, because we're gonna bring you down. We're gonna end both of your careers.
There are no more dreams of grandeur to embrace. For this match is simply known as Lethal Lockdown.
Main Event Mafia will never die!
Team Jarrett, led by the King of the Mountain, he is fighting to maintain order within his federation and is no stranger to this nightmarish hell.
You want me? You got me.
Samoa Joe, a ruthless beast fighting the same cause, but his focus is on destruction and total annihilation of the Main Event Mafia.
My only purpose for being here is to torture each and every member of the Main Event Mafia.
The phenomenal AJ Styles, he defines loyalty and continues to fight for the integrity of TNA.
You lead us, and you will lead us into victory. And I guarantee you, we will not let you down, not this time.
Formerly known as the Fallen Angel, this former TNA World Champion made his triumphant return 3 days ago. Daniels is back on the front line and ready to go to war. The Main Event Mafia, the most destructive faction in professional wrestling today, realizes that this is their opportunity to destroy the TNA originals once and for all. Tonight, Lethal Lockdown is the beginning of the end.
Team Jarrett faces Team Angle in the most dangerous match in TNA, Lethal Lockdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Lethal Lockdown match. Introducing the first 2 participants. First, he is the captain of Team Angle and represents the Main Event Mafia. He is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and in professional wrestling, only Olympic gold medalist. He is Kurt Angle.
Probably not a surprise that Captain Kurt Angle leads the charge for the Main Event Mafia, leads the charge for Team Angle, and he is going to be competing in the opening session, which is 5 minutes long.
He will not ask anybody to do anything that he wouldn't do himself. That's what makes him the Godfather. That's what makes him the leader of the Main Event Mafia. Confidence is high, and they can look to him and know he'll be there to the end.
And the second participant, representing Team Jarrett from the City of Angels, Daniels.
This, to me, is always one of the interesting aspects of Lethal Lockdown. In the past, more occasions than not, the normal procedure is that the respective captains from each team start the match. That's not the case now. Just back in TNA, returning Thursday on Impact, Daniels to start off against Kurt Angle. To me, this shows me that Jeff Jarrett has all the faith in the world on this young man.
That's not what it shows me. It shows me that Jeff Jarrett's not willing to do everything that he would ask of his teammates. Like I just said about Kurt Angle, to me, this just raises more questions on Jeff Jarrett's real motive, and it's going to be interesting watching him here tonight.
The intrigue so thick, so deep in this match. And much of it has to do with the order of entrance that the captain picks. Daniels and Angle to start it off. The opening session is 5 minutes. As we saw Thursday on Impact, the very controversial decision by Jeff Jarrett that gave the Main Event Mafia, that gave Team Angle the numbers advantage in this match, which will give them, in 5 minutes, 2-on-1, then 3-on-2, and then eventually 4-on-3. Jarrett decided, and we saw how close that pin was in the match between Daniels and Angle on Impact, that the right thing to do was to give Team Angle the edge. But it isn't until we have all 8 of the competitors locked inside the cage and until that top drops with the weapons, do pinfalls or submissions even matter?
I'll tell you what, you're right. You've got to survive. And these two are going to have to survive 5 minutes longer than anybody else. And let me tell you something. In this business, 5 minutes can be a lifetime. And the beating that you got to take, I mean, you got to figure out a way to pace yourself, but yet you want to try to take your opponent out. You want to make sure that your opponent is injured to the point where he won't be effective when that ceiling falls down on top of this cage. And we'll be showing you also when that ceiling falls down, this cage has been fixed. It's been changed. There's been special reinforcement, Mike, put around that, and we'll show it to you later when the cage drops so that people won't be able to climb out from up the cage and get on top. They've changed all that, and it's just going to be something special here tonight.
Daniels with the side headlock. Angle tries to get the momentum rolling and shoot him off into the ropes. Smart move by Daniels, however, maintaining the grip, and at the same time, you saw him spread his legs to keep that contact. Angle elevates him up into the air and powers him down with the suplex, but Daniels is still holding on for life with that side headlock.
I'll tell you what, Kurt showed us what he was made of last Thursday night when the crowd was so behind Daniels when he made that triumphant return, and he came in and everybody thought that Daniels had gotten the win. And Kurt was consistent through it all. You got to give him credit. He knew he got that shoulder up. He knew that Daniels had both of his shoulders down, and that was just something special. And he stuck it out until the best decision Jeff Jarrett did. When you look at the replay, it was obvious that Kurt did. And, you know, that's what makes Kurt so special in something like this. There is nothing he hasn't seen, nothing he hasn't been through, nothing he hasn't done. And I'm telling you, he's the greatest in the world still today. And who else would you want as your team captain?
You can question Jeff Jarrett, the captain of Team Jarrett, deciding to put Daniels in this opening slot against Angle, but I think what it does is it also sends a message to AJ Styles, the best friend of Daniels. I think it sends the message that Jarrett has that faith in Daniels, that Jeff Jarrett is about the loyalty and the integrity to his team.
I'm going to tell you one thing, here in just about a minute and a half, Christopher Daniels is going to have to face an onslaught. Now, you think about this. Daniels tonight is going to be a person that is going to have to face a man advantage on 3 different occasions. That is why it is so important to have that man advantage. You might get momentum now, and you mentioned you can't pin anybody or submit anybody now, so you might get momentum, but here in a few seconds, the main event Mafia will have that advantage. And then a couple minutes after that, it'll even up, and then that main advantage again will come back to the main event Mafia, and they will always have it. And if these guys are sharp, they'll use it wisely. And that's another reason why you got to blame Jeff Jarrett.
What do you mean?
For put Daniels in that position. That's why I think the team captain should be out there. That he's the one that would, I mean, if Jeff Jarrett had made himself first, like you have in the past, and that team captain was out there right now, it would be Jeff Jarrett that would have to face that man advantage on every occasion. Instead, it's going to be Daniels, it's going to be AJ, and it's going to be Joe.
Power of the move, the suplex takeover by Angle has Daniels down, and Daniels reaching out, and this is the wear down part of the match. This isn't where Angle is looking for a quick pin or a submission here to win the match, because that doesn't come into play until the weapons get lowered into place. But it's the build-up through the match. How much pain, how much punishment, and the countdown clock approaching 10 seconds till we get to the next competitor. And the Koji clutch! The Koji clutch, and this is a submission hold. This isn't about Angle tapping out, though. This is about keeping Angle neutralized, and we knew it's main event Mafia man advantage time.
Team Angle, Booker T!
You can see right now in the ring what Daniels is trying to do. He's trying to mobilize Kurt so that Kurt can't help it, but I'll tell you what, while he's holding on to Kurt Angle, he's not realizing that Booker T just hit the ring. And that's something where Daniels should have been up waiting for him, and he didn't do it. That's a costly mistake as Booker T just checked his jaw and then hitting him with those knife edge shots.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think it's a mistake because he used that Koji clutch submission on Angle. He's not in the outnumbered position yet. This is still man-on-man against Booker T. So I'm gonna say it was sound strategy by Daniels to keep Angle down to the point, the minute that Booker T got inside the cage so that he can fight Booker man for man. And now all of a sudden you see the countdown clock is near a minute and Daniels uncorks the drop kick.
That's the great thing about this man advantage. It allows Kurt Angle to catch his breath. It allows Kurt Angle to go next to that cage and get himself caught back up because the win can't happen now. Kurt's smart enough to know that. And look at that. Just the proper timing. Booker sends him right in. Kurt's got enough to give him that elbow, and now Kurt catching his breath, getting his strength back as Daniels is going to take the onslaught of a fresh Booker T. Booker T's not even winded.
You saw the effects of that European uppercut from Angle as the head of Daniels snapped back as he made contact with the canvas, the follow-up offense by Booker, and now this is what the man advantage is all about. When Jeff Jarrett turned things over, when Jeff Jarrett reversed the decision Thursday on Impact, this is the result. Final 10 seconds, though, of that 2-on-1. Team Jarrett is about to even things up at this point, and we're about to get into a situation where it's 2-on-2.
Representing Team Jarrett, he is the phenomenal AJ Styles.
And here comes AJ, like beeline straight down and into the cage, and now Styles can help out his best friend Daniel.
I tell you, you better be careful. You don't want to wear it out too fast. You come in there, and I mean, you want to make sure you even things up, but there's still a long way to go. It's about pacing here. It's about surviving. It's about finding your spots and your moments to get your break. But you got to admit, watching them, you can see how reinvigorated the Daniels and ATR are working together again. You can see that.
Yeah, you've got to admit, as you look back in the near 7-year history of TNA, think back to one of the most impressive tag teams that we ever saw in this organization. They held the TNA World Tag Team titles, and you're seeing AJ Styles and Daniels working together. You remember that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these two are two of the best that we've ever seen, and you heard Kurt mention it. Hey, they're younger than we are, they're faster than we are, they're better athletes, but it's all up in the head. That was the important message he was sending. He knows these guys got heart. It's not a matter of knowing they don't have heart. I don't know anybody's got more heart than AJ Styles, but I'll tell you what,
wow,
it's all about having the brains to get this thing done. But yeah, these two guys are incredible. How can you deny that?
Perfect execution of the gut-wrench suplex by Daniels on Angle. The two who have been battling over the Legends Championship, AJ Styles and Booker T, fighting on the far side of the cage. Daniels, the reversal, and then nails Angle and almost takes his head off with a clothesline.
The thing is, though, you're doing this, and you got to give them credit because they have totally taken control of this match. But here in about 10 seconds, that control is going to change as another member of the Main Event Mafia will come out here. And look at Booker T. It's almost like he knows it's getting ready to happen as he turns things around.
Representing Team Angle, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
There's a reason that on Impact we devoted so much time and several weeks of matches to build to that lethal lockdown man advantage, and you are seeing why, because now it's gone from 2-on-1 to 2-on-2 to now 3-on-2, and those Steiner lines are having an incredible amount of impact as Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner is laying out both Daniels and Styles, and here goes a belly to belly.
Oh, man! Unreal. That's what we were talking about. Look at Booker T and Kurt. They are over in the corner. They're catching their breath. Daniels and AJ don't have that option. They've got to deal with a fresh, hot Big Papa Pump. And Big Papa Pump is doing what he does best. And oh, are you kidding me?
He wouldn't.
Are you kidding me? A little Frankensteiner.
And Scott Steiner does not want The applause and the plaudits of the crowd, but that was one amazing move from Big Papa Pump, even I have to admit.
Oh, I thought he was saying, you better believe I'm number one. I'm number one in your hearts.
Probably what it was. Yeah, you're probably right. Gonna ring out the arm after the Steiner line and drop the elbow. And
now look at Kurt, Booker, all three of them standing. Kurt and Booker were able to catch their breath. Able to get that breath back.
And look at this. Steiner is telling first Angle. The follow up with that elbow drop. Turns it over to Booker, and now Booker with that kick. And AJ is taken down. There goes Daniels. Booker moves out of the way, and Steiner line drilled him.
I mean, they're just taking it to him. And again, this is a situation where I can't stop saying enough. That team captain should be there.
We're 10 seconds, we're less than that, 5 seconds away from evening things up.
Representing Team Jarrett, the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe!
The nation of violence. It's a nation of one. But tonight, Samoa Joe.
Where is he? Where is Joe? Goodness gracious, this team is. Talk about it all on the same way.
You see the split screen.
What's he talking to?
What's going on?
He's getting what, last minute advice?
It's got to be.
It's only beginning.
I'll tell you what, he's not helping his teammates.
It's got to be some last minute instructions that Samoa Joe is receiving from somebody, but I've got no idea.
It was hard to see on my screen, but the bottom line is, oh, wait a minute. Here comes Joe.
And here comes the nation of violence. Samoa Joe hits the 6 sides of steel, and now it's evened up once again. Whoa, there goes Steiner for the ride.
Wow. I'll tell you what, though, the thing is he's cost his team time. I don't know who he was talking to in the back, but the bottom line was he didn't get out here at the proper time, so think about the main event mafia. But right now, Joe, he's taking advantage of the fact that he's fresh and they're not. Holy cow.
Quick snap on the slam on Booker, but then Steiner comes from out of nowhere and catches Joe unaware. But immediately Samoa Joe fights back, first with the kick, then with the chop, and then off the ropes and drop down with the senton. Well, process of elimination, and correct me if I'm wrong at this point, it's going to be down to Nash and Jeff Jarrett for the final 2 slots.
And how convenient that Jeff Jarrett's going to be the last guy in, when everybody else has been in there about, what, 12 minutes?
Last 5 seconds, countdown
13.
Clock on the screen, and all of a sudden it's going to be, once again, advantage Mafia, advantage Team Angle.
Representing Team Angle, Big Sexy Kevin Nash!
And he's back, and you can see the elbow that sidelined him for several months. The staph infection, well protected. Oh God! And Samoa Joe kicked the cage door right in Nash's face. Joe's flinging around the steel steps. Look out!
You're supposed to let him in the cage. I mean, he come out here and try to stop it. Look at this. Big Sexy, unbelievable, able to stop it, throw him into the steel ring post. Wow. Oh, man, how impressive was that? Nash comes in, takes that brutal onslaught by Joe, and then look at this. Joe's not even in there to help. Oh!
And a powerful choke slam by Nash on Styles. Big side slam for Nash on Daniels. And Joe finally rolls back in. Joe, series of shots. The big right hands have Nash reeling.
I'll tell you what, though, it's just great to see Kevin Nash back in the ring. I mean, you got to admit, that staph infection was scary. We saw him with a tube in his arm for 3-4 months. And the fact that he's back in there right now, I mean, it's got to be heartwarming for the main event Mafia because he's such a wonderful person.
Pele kick by AJ drilled Steiner in the top of the head. He never saw that one coming.
You never do. You got to admit, you never do.
Daniels to the top. BME, best moonsault ever. But it's not going to lead to a pin because we don't have the final man in.
Wow.
Oh, big suplex by Angle on Joe. Bodies flying all over the 6 sides of steel. Countdown clock indicates the King of the Mountain, the TNA founder, the captain of Team Jarrett has got to be next.
Let's keep your eyes on this, folks.
the final participant, the captain of Team Jarrett, the king of the mountain, Jarrett!
And as Jarrett enters the cage, Angle is ready for him. Jarrett unloads the right hands for both Angle and Booker T. And we have finally reached that point, Don, where all 8 are in, and it's time to drop down the top of the cage.
It's going to start here in a minute, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let Lethal Lockdown begin!
Competitors in the cage, motioning for the top to be lowered, and once it drops down on top of the cage, those weapons that you see, and I see everything from a hockey stick to a street sign to a steel chair to a crutch, they now become legal.
I'll tell you what, everybody was getting in position to make sure they grab something, and right now you can see Jeff Jarrett handing everybody weapons. Main Event Mafia now have to go up and get it, but
the experience of Jeff Jarrett shows through. Jarrett was the only one of the 8 who was perched up on the top rope, and that enabled him to take down the weapons. And look at this screen, Don. 6 different shots that you are seeing. Our cameras in play, trying to document everything that's going on.
I'll tell you what, this is where experience matters the most. This is where trust matters the most. You got to be able to trust every one of your teammates. You got to be able to have that experience to survive an onslaught like Big Papa Pump is right now. You wait for your moment, and oh my God.
After everything that we have heard about the relationship between Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner, are you surprised that Jarrett used that trash can lid to hit him in the head a dozen times?
Well, I mean, it would have meant more if he hit him with like a steel street sign.
Oh! And Jarrett, was that the hockey stick, or what was it that he just broke
like
over neck?
It looks like a broken kendo stick here. We're trying to follow all the action. Is this just carnage? And
where's Angle going?
Well, look at this, Kurt Angle. I don't know how he's done it. They got this new reinforcement up there that doesn't give you any room. He's busted through. He has pulled a couple of the bars loose and gotten through, and he's on top of the cage.
But look at what AJ's doing. AJ's following Angle up on top of the cage. You're right. Angle busted through that reinforcement. He just broke the steel.
I'll tell you what. Look at those 2 guys. Unbelievable. They weren't going to be denied getting up there. They did it a different way. But Kurt Angle found a way, and I mean, look at this. He's got AJ reeling.
Watch it, AJ.
He's got him reeling.
Our most dangerous pay-per-view of the year, and boy, this is danger personified.
No,
Kurt. No, Kurt.
Tell you what, Kurt's going to send a message here in a hurry if he makes this work.
Angle threatening to suplex Styles off the top of the cage, and AJ's hitting Angle, and Angle's wobbly up there. Oh no!
And I mean,
look out!
The perspective of how high it is. You can see Kurt holding on for dear life. And I mean, that's what takes, I mean, look at this. Kurt, I mean, that fall can kill you. Let's just be honest, that fall can kill you. And everybody else below are just beating each other to death with weapons while this is going on.
Angle first rakes the eyes of Styles.
Hey, when you're up there, you do whatever you can.
But then he kicked him low.
I don't care. If I was up there holding on for dear life, I'd rake kicks. You could do every dirty move in the book, buddy. That's called surviving.
And I've got to give credit to Angle because what Angle has done is he's taken AJ out of this match.
Absolutely. AJ Styles now is out on top, and look at this. Kurt's going to get the Main Event Mafia another man advantage. How about that? AJ can't help anybody from up there.
And remember, we are at the point in the match where the first pin or first submission will win Lethal Lockdown. Angle slam on Jarrett.
I'll tell you now, Kurt's come in with a mission. He knows he's got things under control. And you can see the Main Event Mafia bloody. I mean, you can see blood on Steiner. What the world? Oh, my God!
AJ Styles went crashing right through the top of the cage. Take another look at this. I don't think it was a good landing for Styles. Watch. Oh my God.
Are you kidding? That's just unbelievable. I mean, that's just pure craziness. I don't know how he didn't break a leg or something on that. Maybe he did.
Pin here by Daniels on the far side on Angle, but only 2. to try and keep our eyes on the condition of AJ Styles. You're damn right it's awesome. Steel. Trash can goes to the head of Steiner, courtesy of Samoa Joe.
I'll tell you one thing, we have to be honest, Jeff Jarrett's been nothing but a team player since he's been in there. I won't argue with that. Now, this is a situation where AJ doing the incredible thing that he did has kind of turned this thing around, but look at Big Papa Pump. That's just what pure, unadulterated strength can do.
Inverted atomic drop by Joe on Steiner. Big Papa Pump positioned on top. Gonna take him out of the corner. Here comes the muscle buster down. This could lead to a pin in the win. Except Booker comes up to save his partner.
How about that? Jumped right over his partner and then got him with that leg. That leg that seems like it can reach all the way through it. That's right, baby. A little spin-a-rooney and turn this thing around. I don't know how AJ's even got the strength to
That's
stand.
a miracle. A miracle that Styles is back up on his feet. Booker puts on the brakes and drives the knee right into the gut, right into the midsection of AJ. Then goes off the ropes and goes for the axe kick, but misses.
Oh, look at that!
Jarrett went to swing the chair at Booker.
No, he didn't. That was no accident.
Pin!
It's it! Oh,
no, only two. Joe
on.
made the save. He tried to hit Booker with the chair.
Oh, come on.
He
Mike,
exited.
today. There was no way he was hitting Booker, and you knew that. You could see Joe knows it too.
He's got Jeff pressed up against the cage, questioning his actions. But what that does is it enables Angle to come up from behind and hit the angle slam on Samoa Joe.
How slick was that? You know
Pin, here it is.
It's over.
No, Daniels leaps across to make the save, and lethal lockdown continues. Double underhook. Daniels plants Angle, pin, cover, Steiner in at the last second.
I'll tell you what, though, if you're a part of Team Jarrett, you're wondering what the heck is going on. AJ just comes crashing through the top of this cage, and then his own team captain puts a chair to his head and did it perfectly, so it looked like someone was getting out of the way, and you know now that Joe and Daniels and AJ know that they're now going 3-on-5.
Carnage that you see, unbelievable. Jarrett headed to take down his guitar, and now Jeff Jarrett's got the guitar, measuring Booker, pointing right at Booker.
Here it goes, he's pointing at AJ. This is it. You know it's been in his heart the entire time.
Jarrett just nailed Booker with the guitar. AJ cover, 2, 3. Now you're gonna question it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, Team Jarrett!
I didn't see that coming. It looked like Jeff was making the other move, but obviously had a change of heart. Team Jarrett gets the victory.
I don't think it had anything to do with a change of heart. I'm sticking with my story. You saw it.
What in the world? What's going on here, man? What in the world is going on?
Bobby Lashley?
What the hell is he doing here?
Bobby Lashley.
Look at Kurt Angle's face.
The multi-time national amateur champion, the mixed martial arts fighter, the former world heavyweight champion. Bobby Lashley comes out to the ramp. Did you see the reaction, number 1 by Angle and number 2 by Jarrett?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the main event Mafia had something on their sleeve the entire time. And look at Jeff Jarrett. He's going to wish that he hit AJ Styles with that guitar. He's going to wish he did.
I see nothing but concern on the face of Jeff Jarrett. But is there a relationship between Kurt Angle and Bobby Lashley?
Sting, perhaps your toughest title defense in your reign as TNA World Champion. 6 weeks ago, did you ever think it would happen like this? You and Mick Foley locked inside a steel cage in the city of brotherly love.
Well, Lauren, the one thing I've learned in this business after 20-some years is you have to expect the unexpected. Because anything goes at any time in this business, and anything goes at any time in Mick Foley's mind. I go so far back with Mick Foley. A lot has changed over the years. But Mick Foley has not. Mick Foley is just as whacked out now, if not more, than he ever was. But the one thing that I've always said, the one common thread through this whole thing is the respect and this belt and what this means for TNA. What it means to me. I've got too many miles on my body to just roll over and die now, even if it's you, Mick Foley. Even if it's 6 sides of steel, Mick Foley. No, I'm not going to roll over and die because this belt means too much to me. And I've said, if this belt ends up in the wrong hands, it's doomsday for TNA. It's the day that the beginning of the end starts to happen, and I'm not going to let it, Mick. Not tonight. Because there's a lot of miles on my body. It's not going to stop me. You know why, Mick? Because we're in Philadelphia, where anything goes. Anything goes in Philly. And it's going to be showtime as far as the Stinger is concerned.
Well, I believe JB is standing by with Mick Foley. JB?
Thank you very much, Lauren. I'm standing here with the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. And Mick, I have to ask you, point blank, 6 months ago when you came to this company, when you came to TNA Wrestling, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, possibly imagine that tonight, just 6 months later, you would be stepping in to the 6 Sides of Steel headlining Lockdown against Sting for the World Heavyweight Championship? Mick, did you ever see that possible?
Mick could not attend tonight's match. He's busy at a corporate shindig, JB, so I am taking his place inside the 6 Sides of Steel. I want you to look at this and admire it. Take a good look and say goodbye. You know why? Because I won't need it with me tonight, because I intend to use every inch of the 6 Sides of Steel as a weapon. And showing that Mick Foley is not completely without a little bit of wisdom, I'm going to borrow a word from his vernacular. Tweak, JB. Because tonight, I'm going to take that main event, and I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. Yes, pinfalls and submissions will count, but I want to give the fans in Philadelphia and TNA and around the world a chance to see the type of cage matches I used to admire, where you can also bludgeon your opponent senseless and then climb out of the cage. But, JB, I think it's fair to say that our fans don't pay to see someone just walk outside a door. So I'm going to have that baby slammed shut and locked tight when I rip Sting apart. Good luck, Icon, because you're going to need it. I believe that it was you, Sting, who put me on the map. And Stinger, sometimes I wonder where my life would have ended up had you not entered into it. I would like to think that we've seen the last of the Stinger as part of the Main Event Mafia.
How will the Main Event Mafia survive when Kurt Angle challenges Sting for the TNA title at Destination X?
Mick Foley just crashed Sting in the head!
By accident! Foley hit Sting by accident!
I told you before my championship match that Sting show his true color and whose side he's on. And there you stood, Sting, in the middle of the ring. Mick Foley raising your hand just seconds after Jeff Jarrett screwed me.
What do you want me to do to prove myself?
I want you to be my partner, and our opponents are Jeff Jarrett and Mick Foley.
Foley is on the inactive list. He wrestled his last match, Kurt.
Since when did you start calling the shots around here? I don't ever recall saying that I'd had my last match here in TNA. I am a wrestler, and every once in a while, wrestlers wrestle.
What the hell? You think that was an accident? No way was that an accident. He took that chair and he had one target in his mind, and that was the world champion.
2 times a chair to the back of my head from your hands, Mick, and you said with your own mouth that I made your career. Well, now guess what? I'm gonna be responsible for ending your career. Lockdown, a steel cage. It's showtime, Mick.
Well, you want to lock me up inside of a cage? Are you sure that's a good idea? Because what you call hell, I call home. With a cage door slammed shut, and you and I are locked inside the 6 Sides of Steel. We're not going to be reliving history. We will be making history. I've been busy getting
reacquainted with an old friend. Say hello to Cactus Jack. You think this is funny, man? I am so tired of you cashing the checks that this body wrote. I will not let you have my moment of glory when I vanquish my greatest rival.
Well, Mick, don't you...
Shut your mouth! Shut it! Shut it! Shut it! Shut it! Shut it! I run this place and I can do any damn thing I want. And at Lockdown, I want to tear you apart.
The hardcore legend, Mick Foley. The icon, Sting. The TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Lockdown 2009 main event. The TNA World Heavyweight Championship is at stake, as well as the future of this organization. And let's go to the tail of the tape. When you compare the numbers of Foley and Sting, the weight advantage goes to the challenger. But both equal in experience. Will their signature finishing moves play a part in the 6 sides of steel? Here's the bullet points. Even the champion Sting had to admit that tonight's match may be more about maintaining his well-being than winning or losing. And after recent actions, ladies and gentlemen, and what we saw just moments ago, do we even need to roll in this next question about who's showing up tonight? The executive shareholder, Mick Foley, or the crazy and the unpredictable Cactus Jack? And should Sting retain his world championship, the balance of power will remain with the Main Event Mafia. But a title win by Mick Foley might turn TNA completely upside down. If Foley wins tonight, who's going to be able to control the hardcore legend?
This is one of those matchups that I believe so many people are conflicted on who they want to win. These are two people that everybody has respected and loved for so long. All I know is the anticipation level off the charts.
And here comes the challenger. He doesn't look anything like an executive shareholder to me. That's not Mick Foley. That's Cactus Jack with a barbed wire bat.
He is a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion. The first ever hardcore champion. And an unstable character known for occasional psychotic outbursts, as well as his insatiable taste for blood. He is Mick Foley, and tonight he is poised to seize TNA gold when he unleashes his psychotic rage inside the 6 sides of steel cage.
Crowd reactions for challenger and champion, very intriguing as well. The long history of both Mick Foley and Sting in Philadelphia. And as I look around the Lacora Center here at Temple University, I see many people cheering. The executive shareholder, that's not Mick Foley though, that's Cactus Jack with that barbed wire bat.
Well, the video wall may have said Mick Foley, but it's Cactus Jack in the house. Wanted dead or alive on his chest. You see the leopard skin on his feet, barbed wire bat in his hand, and if you're the icon Sting, this has got to really, really bother you a little bit because you just don't know what it is you have. But one thing about Sting, he always finds a way to survive.
Does he always find a way to survive? He's going to have to tonight against Mick Foley. As we mentioned earlier, this may be more than just about a win or a loss.
A legend, an icon, a 12-time World Heavyweight Champion. He is the man simply known as Sting. He stands 6'2" and weighs 250 pounds. He won the gold in October and has successfully defended the heavyweight title ever since. the longest championship reign of his illustrious career. And tonight, he plans to add to that legacy.
Whether it be Mick Foley / Cactus Jack or Sting.
Doesn't matter where this man goes. This guy is just so loved by every wrestling fan across the world, and he means so much to him. And I'll tell you, I myself, without you and I have talked about this, I'm conflicted. You know how I feel about the Main Event Mafia, these legends that we've watched through the years, and what I think they mean to professional wrestling, and I'm biased towards them, I admit. But I look at Cactus Jack, a.k.a. Mick Foley, in there, and I wonder the havoc that he can cause Jeff Jarrett. I'm just going to enjoy this match, Mike.
On that note, let's send it inside the 6 sides of steel. Our broadcast colleague, Jeremy Borash, has the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit, with the winner to be determined by pinfall, submission, or escape from the cage, and is for the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World. And now, live from Philadelphia, it's time for your TNA Lockdown main event of the evening. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my left. He weighed in this morning at 280 pounds and comes to us from Long Island, New York. Tonight, he attempts to become a 4-time heavyweight champion of the world. He is the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, standing in the corner to my right. He weighed in this morning at 250 pounds and comes to us from Venice Beach, California. Since October 23rd, 2008, he is the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, the Icon, Sting.
Electric atmosphere here in Philadelphia. Mick Foley to challenge Sting for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and while that World Heavyweight title belt is at stake, there's so much more that goes along with it. Referee Earl Hebner, the third man in the cage.
Well, right now, Earl Hebner's going to have to deal with a situation here as Cactus Jack's holding that barbed wire bat inside the ring, and I think Hebner's telling him he needs to take it out, and look at that. He handed it to him so that he can't use that as an excuse for the victory, but what it was it proved its point. It was the visual. Sting saw it. Sting got worried about what might happen with it, Mike.
In terms of the Main Event Mafia, how important is this match going forward? Sting, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, JB gave you the statistics. The title belt that's been in his possession and the possession of the Main Event Mafia, the power, the control that goes along with the goal.
I've been trying to think about the history of TNA, and I believe Sting may have held this title now as long or almost as long as anybody in the history of this company. Think about that. He has held this thing since Bound for Glory. Is that right? Of last year?
Since October. And going forward in terms of the Main Event Mafia, you know how much they love to flaunt that power and control and everything that goes with that TNA World Heavyweight title. And you see the totally unpredictable Mick Foley repeatedly punching himself in the top of the head. the wound that was opened up, and much like we saw this past Thursday on Impact, Foley has reopened that wound and goes right on the offensive against Sting, and then puts the boot right into the top of Sting's head.
I mean, if you're Sting, you just, how do you deal with somebody this unpredictable? How do you deal with this, somebody with this many personalities? How do you deal with a guy that is not afraid to do the damage to his own face? And I'll tell you what, it's got to get to your psyche. It's just got to get inside your brain, and just Sting's going to have to figure out a way to just ignore what he's seeing, Mike.
One thing is, as the blood streams down the face of Foley at his own beating, and here comes Sting from behind. Sting's not going to be taken off guard here. He's not going to be surprised by this unpredictability of Foley. He knew from the second he got inside this steel cage what he's dealing with, and Sting fights back. Repeated shots send Foley crashing down to the mat.
I'll tell you what, now keep in mind that Mick Foley changed the stipulations here and added in escaping from the cage also to get a win in this situation. You could see that he was charging to the top, and he also said that, hey, we're locking that door. Nobody should win that way. We're locking that door, and you can see there that Sting right now is getting control of the situation, rubbing his face on the cage. Oh, man.
The wound, the cut above the eye of Mick Foley, further open by Sting, taking him by the hair, by the head, and dragging him right across the unforgiving steel. And Foley fights back, extends the arm, connects with the right hand, and another one that's right on the money. A third shot to the jaw has Sting reeling, and Sting just uses the top ring rope just to hold himself up, and Foley continues the offense with a big clubbing blow to the back that drops the champ.
You got to wonder who this is an advantage for. To me, I think it's an advantage to Mick Foley. If you're going to sit there and brawl and throw punches, that's exactly what Mick Foley, I think, wants as far as the game plan to do in this situation. He's beating down Sting, and he's listening to this crowd. He maybe has an opportunity to climb, but I think he's hesitating too long. And of course, Sting, when you get up this high, it can take a long landing.
Sting able to recover, meets Foley at the top rope. Series of shots by Sting, and
oh, man!
Sting used all of his power and strength to drive Foley back first down to the mat, but I think it was a bad landing for both champion and challenger.
Well, that's the thing. Every time you take a fall from that, even if you get the advantage of your opponent, it still hurts you. As you see the pin attempt, it still hurts you almost as bad. I mean, the bottom line is your body is hitting the mat from a distance it's not supposed to hit it from, and in this case, about 15 feet up.
And I think we saw it right there as Sting took that extra few seconds to make the cover, and Foley able to kick out. Sting tried to put Foley again face first into the side of the cage. Foley fights him off, and now Foley has Sting in the corner, and Foley measures and drives those right hands in. That's three of them, right to the top of the head, right to the side of the face of Sting, and now the choke hold, and referee Hebner warns him about that blatant choke.
I'll tell you what, I mean, he turned this thing around with something simple as a headbutt. When Cactus Jack just took that forehead and slammed it on the Sting, I mean, this guy just has a pain threshold that is above and beyond anybody in the world. And look at this! Oh, Sting took the leg, did you see that?
And look at Foley's leg. His foot is hooked at that top turnbuckle.
Oh my God, Sting just did an unbelievable shot. I mean, it was unbelievable. You can see the leg buckle down and it's still stuck. Look at that right leg. Heather trying to get it unstuck. He knows the damage that is there. And you can just see the pain right now on the face of Mick Foley.
And Foley's ankle, Don, it was grotesque the way that ankle was twisted as it was hooked between the turnbuckle and the side of the six sides of steel.
You know, we've seen so much carnage here tonight, but to see something like an ankle turned around in a direction it's not supposed to go, stuck inside that row by the cage, and I mean, Sting he just took the leg right out. Look at that, he's going right for that ankle. He grabbed a hold of it and applying the pressure. He knows where the damage is now.
And think of how important this could be for Sting in terms of applying a move like his Scorpion. Like that Scorpion Deathlock for a submission, what he's already done to weaken the leg, the knee, and the ankle of Foley.
I'll tell you what, we've seen Mick Foley now on 3 occasions try to climb this cage and get out. What I'm going to wonder is what kind of mobility that's going to give him if he tries to do that again, if he tries to climb that cage. Can that ankle support him?
Well, it's got to severely weaken any chances of Foley climbing out of the cage, and Sting just clipped him from behind again.
I'll tell you what, that time it was like the knee. I mean, he is just taking those legs right away. from Cactus Jack. I mean, he's just not allowing him to get any kind of momentum whatsoever. You got to admire Sting for that. I mean, that's what the greats do. They find a weakness and they exploit it. And he just keeps rubbing that head, that bloody wound in the 6 sides of steel.
And I couldn't agree with you more when it comes to those desperation leaps by Sting. It weakens Foley's ability to climb the cage and also potentially sets him up for the Scorpion. And Mick Foley turns it around on Sting, and the champion is just sent directly, face first, right into the cage door.
I'll tell you what, the special lock they put on the door held, buddy, as he hit it straight on. But look at that left leg. He just can't put any pressure on it. You can see Foley just trying to, but it's just the pain that he had there in that leg.
Foley connects with the kick, but at the same time, he goes down in the corner, and Foley trying to regroup. Boy, Sting in trouble, and check Foley right now, working on the knee, pounding on his own knee, trying to get that blood flowing back to the knee, trying to be able to support his body weight.
Oh, you can just see the pain he's in. It's unreal. You can just see how gingerly he's walking. But you know, again, it's somebody that he's able to just bear through that like nobody ever has
Spinning
in the history
neck breaker,
of this business. It's
2 only.
Holy cow. I'm sitting there and you saw the count go to 2, and you just figured Sting was going to get the shoulder up, and buddy, he barely got it up at the last second.
Yeah, I wasn't as sure as you, where I saw him hit that neck breaker, and I saw Sting's head hit the mat. Foley immediately on for the pin, and Sting barely escaped the 3.
Now here's the test. Here's the test as you see Foley. And again, you can see him reach down and grab that left knee. I mean, it's the
almost
knee,
as if he had
ankle.
second thoughts right there when he went to the corner.
He can't put weight on it. He can't climb this fence. Can't do it.
Goes back with a boot for Sting, and then drops him down, spiked him on his head with the double arm DDT.
I'll tell you what, though, that's twice now that Sting has had a violent shot to his head, and you think of the concussion
Arm
factor.
extended.
Here it is. 1,
here's the
2.
pin, 2, and
but he just doesn't have any oomph in that. When he got the shoulder up, Mike, there just wasn't any snap to it. That's what's scary for Sting right now.
At the same time, when Foley went for the cover, you notice he was just draping his arm across the prone body of Sting. It wasn't like he was able to put all of his body weight behind the pin attempt.
You see the blood, though, in the eye of Foley, and again, though, he's just trying to... Oh, he just can't seem to get the weight right on that left foot. Look at that.
And he's going to try and beat Sting in his own game with his own move with a Scorpion, and Sting's fighting it off. Who better to know how to counter than Sting?
Can
Foley
he get
trying
it
to
turned
twist.
around?
Foley trying to turn. He's close. He's close. He's got it. And Hebner's right there. Hebner checking with Sting.
Sting able to fight through it, but you heard a scream of pain come from his lungs there as Mick Foley's hurt him, and Sting is hurt bad. The problem is Foley so hurt?
What's Foley motioning for here?
He wants the door open.
He's saying, open the damn door. And he just shoved down referee Hebner.
I mean, we heard him earlier say that nobody should win by going through the door. He wanted it locked. Well, you know what? This is a case where it's going against him. We never said you couldn't win by going through the door. He said you shouldn't win. And now, because he can't climb this cage, he's wanting to go through the door and in this thing.
Couldn't agree with you more. He's having second thoughts about the words that he had just moments ago right before this match.
Well, that lock that's put on, and I watched him put it on. It is a gigantic lock. And it was his, what did he do? He just kicked the cameraman.
What the hell?
He just kicked the cameraman through the hole in the cage where they put their cameras. Oh my God, he just took the cameraman out.
My
This guy's
God,
crazy.
just when you think you've seen everything here at Lockdown, one of our cameramen has been sent flying and down because of the Foley kick.
Look at this, he's trying to get to the floor.
He's trying to
going through the hole.
He's trying to escape through the camera hole. That is one way of escaping. Foley's trying to win by going through that hole, and Sting's pulling him back.
I'll tell you, the bottom line is he doesn't have the strength and elegant Sting. He's fired up. He's fired up, and the crowd knows it.
Scorpion applied. Scorpion deathlock locked in by Sting, and think of the pain that Foley must be in. The injured ankle, the injured leg, knee.
Oh, you know that pain is just shooting through his body. And you can see, look at him, telling Earl Hebner to keep his eye on him. And he's reaching, he's grabbed a hold of the cage, and he's trying to climb through that again.
Give me the bat, Dirk. Give me the bat.
Give me the bat. He's yelling, give me the bat.
That's the same cameraman he just took out, isn't it?
Hey, what in the world is he? He's got a hold of that barbed wire bat. The cameraman just did it, I guess, out of fear, and gave him the bat, and now he's got the barbed wire bat in the ring.
Foley intimidates the cameraman to hand the barbed wire bat through the camera hole and into the cage. Sting stops. Sting stops in his tracks. Sting backs up at the sight of the barbed wire.
Oh, everything that he said he wouldn't do, he's doing.
Foley swings and Sting able to avoid the contact in the second time. Foley swinging and Sting with every movement able to get out of the way of that barbed wire bat and then try and fight back with punches, and down goes Foley.
I'll tell you what, though, you just have nowhere to go, and it's amazing he was able to miss the brunt of that. And look at this, Sting. He's going to try to escape.
Look out!
Oh, he caught him with the bat in the leg.
What a shot by Foley.
Everybody.
A baseball bat alone to the knee, but then the bat wrapped in barbed wire. God, not
Another
again!
shot!
God!
2 shots, and Sting has dropped down. Sting's leg's taken out. He did one to one leg and one to the other, and now Sting crying in pain. But the bottom line is where's Mick Foley? He's either going to have to make him submit here. We know he can't climb over the top of this cage with his ankle now.
In Foley's mind, he probably thinks that evens things up, because Foley's having such a difficult time with his leg, with his knee, with his ankle, doing the same to Sting, and Sting able to catch him with the dropped hold. Did Foley go face first right into the bat?
And I'll tell you what, his hand went into that barbed wire too. You could see him holding on to that, and now Sting's got the barbed wire bat.
Well, you can see the blood streaming from Foley's hand, let alone his head, and Sting's got possession of the bat.
Look at this, he's wanting to take a shot. Right into the gut. As that barbed wire just been used now so many times. And another shot to the gut of Mick Foley. And now look at this, Sting's not done.
Look out from behind. Sting with the shot to the back of Foley.
Another shot, and this is, I'll tell you what, this is a taste of his medicine. And oh man, how many shots can Foley take as Sting is just creamed him now 4 or 5 times in a row?
The level of violence, it's even more than we anticipated. And now he's got the barbed wire right in his face.
Right in his eyes. Oh my God, I mean, you wonder how blind it is, but how about the shot though, the desperation shot by Foley? He had to do it, the kick backwards, the low blow, and then he puts it right into the head.
Directly into the head, into the face of Sting, and referee Hebner checking on his condition. Hebner says, no. Oh, and Foley drops down again with the bat.
Oh, you're not going to stop Mick Foley right now. I mean, you're not going to tell him no. And I'm trying to look and see. Oh, Sting! Oh, look at Sting! You can see the blood trickling down his head as Sting took that shot, that last shot in the forehead. Sting bleeding.
And the sock is about to come into play. The blood flowing from the face of Foley as well as Sting. And Foley, he's wrapping the barbed wire around the sock, and drives it directly into the top of Sting's already busted open head.
And I'll tell you, look at that, another shot and another shot by Foley as he just keeps applying the shots, beating down the icon, beating him down to the mat.
It's one of the most vicious, violent, brutal World Heavyweight Championship matches we've ever witnessed. Sees Foley take the bat wrapped in barbed wire, and with all of his force, all of his weight, drive it right into the face and chest of Sting. God.
Oh my God, how much can he take? How much can he take? Sting there just crumpled to the mat. Look at it, Mike. He's not even moving. You can just see his eyes. They got a glaze on him. Crowd now realizing what's happening here.
Remember, it's pin, submission, or first to escape the 6 sides of steel to win.
And he's trying again to apply that weight. He realizes that's the only way to go through. His body wouldn't, look at that. Sting just trying to get to his feet. But the bottom line is, look at Foley. He's actually doing it. He's so close. Can Sting stop him?
Sting going up at the same time. Sting is making his way. Foley's slightly ahead of Sting.
Who's going to hit the ground?
Who's going to touch the ground?
You can see Sting trying to get over.
Foley slides down, and Mick Foley has done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Hardcore Legend, Mick Foley!
Mick Foley has become TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Unbelievable effort. Able to climb over the top, and with Sting right on his heels, Mick Foley was able to get the feet. They hit the mat first. Unbelievable.
One of the most violent pay-per-views in TNA history, punctuated by this victory. And we thought TNA was unpredictable. We thought TNA was out of control before. But what's it going to be like? What's it going to be like now that Mick Foley is World Heavyweight Champion?
TNA Wrestling. Cross the line.